Hey, what it do, world out there? This is your guy, Mailman. Yes, it is. I am Mailman, and we are back in the building. I hope y'all like my intro, my new intro that we got. The intro with my new I Am Mailman truck, man, that's hitting the streets of Atlanta and anything within a 6 mile radius of Atlanta. Y'all will see that I Am Mailman truck because we're going to be popping up at events near you, getting information, finding out about the local businesses, the local artists, getting opinions, having good times, because y'all know I love to have a good time and I love to have fun. So I hope y'all enjoyed that intro, man. I'm really happy I got this truck on the road, but we got a lot of things getting ready to come alongside with the new clothes. And y'all, guess what? I went and got my hats today. We're going to get some hats. Let me show y'all. Man. So I'm getting all my hats customized. Every hat that I rock is going to be customized, man, just to show y'all some of my hats. So we went and got this Steelers hat. Y'all see the Steelers hat? And then check this out. We got the blackout. That's the I am and mailman on that thing. So every hat is customized. We got all the hats and I don't know. I just like this hats. I like hats. Y'all know I like hats. We got the ABC hat with the green and the mailman, and then the transformer hat with the Marvel and the gold mailman. So these gonna be coming all on my Now You See Me clothing company. Y'all will definitely be able to cop some of the clothes out there and a lot of the different things, mailman hats, because y'all are part of the family, man. The I Am Mailman family. So y'all can go shop it Now You See Me and get it going. But now we about to jump into this. I just had to go in there and show y'all some of the hats. We about to jump into this. I got a good conversation. I know I ain't been here with them in a minute. That's because I've been grinding, making money to pay for all this stuff that I'm trying to make grow until this starts generating me income. But I had to come on here because I got two topics and I got two of some of my beautiful ladies that's about to come ready and give me their opinion. They are not gonna hold it back, y'all. Y'all know Josh, she gonna run her mouth. Me and her gonna have our back and forth. She gonna have her opinion. I'm gonna have mine. And y'all know my homie Jamaica, she's gonna give her thoughts, her opinion. She's not gonna hold nothing back. And that's what I love on I Am Mailman. You can be you. I don't censor nothing. I want everybody to come raw. Give me how you feel. We ain't gonna cut it out. Just do it, but we're gonna make sure we have fun and enjoy ourselves. So tonight we are talking about is if you're a parent, is it okay if you have kids for your young child, and we're gonna say 12 and under, for your young child, and even if they're a little older, they can be a little older because that's still gonna throw it in there. But we're gonna say definitely we're gonna primary focus is 12 and under. But even if they're 13, 14, 15, 16, is it their responsibility? Is it okay for your younger child to be responsible for watching their younger sibling? Or is that the parents' responsibility because the younger child did not have it? They didn't have to make that baby. They didn't create that baby. So why should they have to watch that child? So we gonna have that debate. And then the second part of this conversation is, and I'm saying women for this one because that's what I deal with, and that's what I seen in this situation. Why are women still dating and picking guys that are no good? And you can literally see that they no good. And you might say, well, Mel, y'all keep having the same conversation about these things, women no good. What about the decisions that men make? Well, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I seen this. This happened on a personal situation I seen. So one day I'm riding, I see a young lady, she's riding in her car. I'm in my box truck, I sit high, she's in a car. I see her. She has an infant, a newborn infant in her arms. And we're in the 5 o'clock traffic headed home on 20. Traffic is bumper to bumper, and she has this infant in her arm, and she's driving with this infant right in her arm and between her chest and her stomach and the steering wheel. And it's a lazy ass man in the seat that could literally be driving the car, or he could goddamn got the baby from her. But obviously, she chose to allow him to sit in that seat while she's still nursing, be a mother to that child and drive. I say that's a choice. Why do women still pick that? That's what we talking about. Without further ado, let's bring Miss Ja in and Miss Jamaica in, and we finna get it live, y'all. Hey, what it do? What it do?
No,
Hey, hey, hey.
no, I don't.
How you
Hey,
doing, man? How
what's
you?
happening?
You having a good evening, Miss Ja?
I am. It's going pretty good.
That's what's up. Can we get more light? Cause you not looking as black as me. And I know you brown skin.
Brown skin. Sure. Let me find you some more light.
Yes, yes. And we have the beautiful Miss Jamaica on here that rocks with.
Hey.
Hey, it's about to be live. Always beautiful. Y'all make sure y'all follow both of these ladies on Instagram, man. They are super, super dope, super cool. So the topic, if y'all young ladies, today, the first topic that we're gonna talk about, and we're gonna jump, dibble, and dab into this. Is it okay for the younger sibling to watch? I mean, is it okay for your young a parent's younger child to watch their younger sibling? Now, I'm gonna give you my opinion. What I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like it's not the responsibility of that your child to watch the other child because that child didn't go out and make that child. So why do they have to take on the responsibility of watching the child that you choose to go make? Even if a woman was to say, "Well, hey," and we'll say a woman or man was to say, "Hey, I don't have no help to watch them, so I got to go to work. I got to go make money. I got to go do all this whatsoever." You still knew that before you laid down with that woman or man to create that child. Now, I will give and take for this. Sometimes it is circumstances where you will have that it might come in. You might need to run to the store right quick. Or you might have something that you need to go do right quick to go do.
Give
But
me a
I'm talking
newspaper.
about if you're doing this on a consistent
Oh, I
basis,
want to go to
they got to watch the child while you go to work, or they got to watch the child while you go out with your friends. That's not their responsibilities. What y'all ladies think?
Well, personally, me being a mom of three and having my oldest son, my two younger daughters, I just felt personally that wasn't my son's responsibility to watch his smaller sister. That was my job. I did and structured my life around my children's job. Excuse me, take a sip of water. I geared myself and I worked around my children, even when they were small, I made sure that when I got off work, I was there. It wasn't my son's responsibility to get his sisters off the bus, feed them, none of that. These were my children. I brought them to the world. I'm responsible for how their care is being handled. And so I just never put that type of pressure on my son. He never experienced that. So he had a full opportunity to be a kid. Because sometimes if it's overbearing for you as a mother, is extremely overbearing for you as a child. So that's my opinion.
I agree with that. I agree that is a lot of pressure um, to put on a child, and you said something that's totally true. If a grown adult gets stressed out from dealing with that child, which and they have been through things in life way more than the child has, only imagine how that child is going to react to certain things. So I agree with
Hmm.
you. I agree with you. Ja, what's your opinion?
I don't agree.
Why you don't agree? How you don't agree?
Um,
Let me hear.
Let me get my words together. So, first, kudos to you for having the ability and opportunity and to actually structure your schedule around your children so that you can be home to prevent them from having to watch their siblings. But the vast majority don't have those same the same capability or the same opportunities. Um, Mailman, to bank off of you, yes, mothers do decide to have kids, but that does not necessarily mean that that parent at that time knew that even that it was a possibility for them to become a single parent and have to worry about who's going to watch their children while they're working. On the flip side of that, some of us work and 12, 14 hours, sometimes 24-hour shifts depending on what your profession is, to where you are not um, given that leadway or the opportunity to actually structure your schedules around your kids schedule. um, and as for me as a single parent, I have a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, and we've experienced some detrimental things at daycares where daycares are. We know that daycare is unsafe. My home is equipped for my kids to be able to be home by themselves, and I have my 12-year-old watches my son while I work. My schedule um, has catered to them to where I go part time on my 9 to 5, but I run two businesses. Um, so I work my 9 to 5 at night, run my businesses during the day so that um, I can be available for my son who has chronic lung disease. Um, and he gets sick at school, so I'm able to pick him up and whenever the school calls. I just don't agree. My daughter doesn't do it like outside of that. Like if I'm going out or something like that, which I rarely do, then my kids have a babysitter. But if I'm at work, then my daughter, they sleep anyway, but my daughter is home with my son. She's 12. It doesn't take away from her being a child. She's very involved. My baby's in dance theater. She's in track year round. We travel. We've just left Orlando. We were in Philly last weekend. She goes to Iowa for Junior Olympics. She's a 3.99 GPA, straight A student in the gifted and talented classes, accelerated. So she does not, just because she watches my kid when I'm at work, it doesn't take away from her being a child or having the opportunity to be a kid. Her friends come over every other weekend. They stay the entire weekend, sometimes longer than that. We all go out and hang out and do things. I let them do their own thing. So it doesn't take away from them being a child.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I still get it. I still get it. I had an experience once where I had a friend who, like you said, and all those things that your child does is very great, and it speaks highly of you as a parent. And like you said, some people can't navigate the opportunity that your children may have, as you said, that other opportunities for other children they may not have those.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, I look at it as still as all of this is great and wonderful, but I'm still the end of it responsible for what is happening, and not as just for the things that they're doing on their own, because children are supposed to have fun. These are the things that children are supposed to do. These are the things that as parents we're supposed to do for our children. But it was a time where I saw one of my friends' child die because she was at work and the house caught on fire. The child panicked. See, there's scenarios that we can't control as humans, and things happen, and still to this day nobody can understand how did you know or why, but you can never get an answer for that because at the time, like you said, she had to go to work. Her answer was I was at work, but now your
But
child is deceased, and
but
I
those
understand
things
that.
happen. But those things happen.
Exactly.
Those
So,
things
but
happen not only in a home when your child is left
it could
with
be
a
anywhere.
child, but it could be left. Their child could be left with an adult.
Exactly.
I've been a 911
But
dispatcher for 17 years, and I've had more adult parents
mhm.
be involved in their children's death than I have with the child being left alone.
And
To
that's
be honest with
understandable.
you, I've had a father go to fall asleep with his cigarette and
Hmm.
it set the house on fire and the child died
Exactly.
of smoke inhalation. I've
Hmm.
had where I've had to beg parents to leave their house that was on fire, even though their children were in there. They didn't want to leave their home, their materialistic things, and
Mm.
everybody burned up in the house.
Exactly.
And I've
Understood.
also experienced where children die in the daycare because a daycare personnel decides that they're upset. This child upset them. This child pooped out their clothes or whatever, and they killed the
Understand.
child. They molest the child. They rape the children. So, what's the better setting? We trust
It's the
strangers with our children, or do we trust
no,
our
it's the setting is not about the setting or what the situation is. The setting is a simple question: is should your child be watching your younger child? Understood. Again, granted, it's a simple yes or no. And for me, it's a no because the simple
Mhm.
fact is, even though that was death and accidents happen, I just want to be there as much as I can of every point in my life because I realize that time with my children is not guaranteed, and you just spoke on that. And I just feel like it doesn't make you a bad person because you have to work. But I just feel personally that they shouldn't have to go do that if that's something. Because a lot of the kids they ask you, they don't want to tell mom, no, I don't want to watch that. They want to be a good student. They want to be a child and do what their parent asks of them because they see that these are the things that get me the things that I want. But then you ask an adult when they get older, did you want to watch it? They're going a lot of times I hear grown adult people with degrees and all types that say they missed a lot of things because they had to be at home with their siblings. And it
Well,
wasn't because the parent was working. It was just a simple fact that a lot of times I would feel bad because I knew my mom was at work. I missed my mom. And then you have to make it make sense too, because the simple fact of the matter is when you're not at home and you're away and you're at work and da 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 da, your focus is not there with your children. You're at work. And for me, I always wanted to be that hands-on. What are my kids doing? And I always did. And I'm glad that I did because, like I told I work really hard with my children, and I just feel like, all fairness, I watched my sister and them regret a lot of things that made me feel like it was my fault that you guys can do certain things. And I would ask them, even as an adult now, like what they was like, mom had more kids than she could take care of. It wasn't our responsibility to take care of. So, I get that as a little sister. I get it. I get it. Like it's a different feeling for me. But I get where you're coming from. Totally, totally agree with you. Totally, I do.
yeah, because my kid don't have that problem.
Right,
But
right.
I understand that perspective because I was the child who had to sacrifice my childhood to take care of my
Yeah,
siblings. But my kid doesn't do that. She doesn't sacrifice
exactly.
anything. I make
Right.
sure that she still is in anything she wants to be, and I am still hands on with all of my kids, both of my
And
children,
big congratulations.
including
Big
my foster
congratulations
kids.
to that.
'Cause
You know
I'm a
what I'm saying?
foster.
But you ever felt that though? Like, asking you, did you ever feel like you like not say you regret it, like did you miss certain things and that you
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
do?
but my mom. So yes, I missed a lot. But my
Mm-hmm.
mother, I took care of two siblings,
Mm,
and my mother made me sacrifice
mm.
my extracurricular stuff. I don't do that. When
Okay.
I go to work during the time when it's time for them to pretty much be asleep anyway.
Understandable.
I'm available during the day. I go to
Mm-hmm.
every track meet there is. I don't miss a track meet. I don't miss a practice. I get off at 7 o'clock in the morning. If one of my drivers don't make it to a route,
Superwoman.
I'm running that route when I get off in the morning, and my daughter still gets to practice. I drop her off to practice. I pick her up from practice. I
Mm.
I don't miss anything. If I'm sleepy after I get
Listen,
off of work and I don't have a route to do, I'm in the truck sleep,
I wish I
waiting
had that type
making
of
sure
mom.
my kid is. So I don't, just because she watches my son when I go to work, she doesn't miss out on anything. She don't miss out on
Mm-hmm.
friend time. She doesn't miss out on being a kid. What she does miss out on is being out in the streets late at night when she ain't supposed to be anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I agree with you on that. I gotta give you big kudos, big hats off to you
thank you,
because that mean you wearing many hats, queen over there. You doing the right thing
girl,
because
and
I feel
sleeping.
like as a little sister, if I could be able to just apologize to my older sister by saying I'm sorry you missed your prom because mom had to work overnight. Da, 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 da.
Mm,
As coming from a little sister's perspective and you being someone who watched your siblings, I sometimes we feel like it's our fault that certain things happen, and we
right.
feel like that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I mean,
I
and
want
I don't regret much. Like I do. I used to hold my mom. I used to hold some regret for my mother for that reason. But
really.
when I look at my siblings and how much they have progressed and how much
Mm-hmm.
I shielded them from, like I could say something to them and they don't even know what I'm talking about from the past. And that's because I did a good job at shielding them from
As you
the
did,
crap that they shouldn't
exactly,
have been exposed to. And they're
exactly.
very successful, and so they're my success story. I there was a reason for me to be there and for them not to take on the persona of my mom. So I'm good with it.
Yeah, and that's amazing. That's amazing. Queen. I like that. I love it. And see, like I said, everybody don't get the opportunity. A lot of us
Right.
don't to have that type of sister that to watch over you to make sure you do it. Cause I
Mhm.
had that. My sister, my older sister Wanda, she was just like my mom's
Mhm.
sister.
And
You know what I'm
I'm
saying? I
right,
had so much respect for her. Like
I'm still
I
like
don't want
that.
to drink in front of her. And
So they
she
like
was
that.
14 years older than me. And when I say I love
Oh,
my big
okay.
sister so much because I'm the she's the reason why I'm here today in Atlanta. because I got in trouble in Mississippi, and it was domestic. And girl, I had to get out of my hometown. I called my sister on the one. If you got one call to make, who you gonna call? I called my sister, and she picked up on the first ring. And the people told me, they said, "Ma'am, we got you a one-way ticket going to Atlanta. I've been here 20 years because of my older sister." She said, "Come here."
That's
And because of
dope.
I owe my big sister that much, but she changed my life that much.
That's dope.
And we
My
thank y'all.
siblings, they still call me. They call me to the day and ask me, can they, or what do you think about this? Or we argue
Hmm.
sometimes because I
Yeah,
I
we
don't
do.
know how to be the sister versus the parent because I was the parent for so long. But
Exactly. I now
other than
get it.
that, but like
I
my
get it.
kids we don't do that. Like they
Hmm.
watch I structured my schedule what I feel like is perfect because and I have cameras inside my house. I have cameras outside of my house, and they're
Hmm.
not none of them run by wire. So if the
Okay.
lights go out in the house, the
Super
cameras are
secure.
still good.
Copy that.
We live in a gated community. They have emergency contacts for a couple of neighbors that I trust. Um, and again, I work for the police department, so it's like, you know,
Hey, don't
I
play with
can
it.
I can always send somebody around to check on the kids if I need to,
Hmm. Honey, you
But
got top notch.
my
Top
camera,
notch mommy. That's
yeah,
what I'm
but my
talking
camera
about.
and I have footage on my phone, it's live footage, and when my kids doing something they have the business doing, like
Hmm.
if they coming out the room and I want to know what they're doing, I can get on this camera, and I be like, what are
Hmm.
you doing,
Hey, excuse me,
right,
ma'am. You
right.
got it going on. All
Right.
right
If
now.
it's storming outside or if something happens that's close by by our community, there's an alarm on the camera and I can set off. And my daughter gets up and she'll come to the camera in her room and say, hey mama. And then I ask her, I'll let her know, hey, make sure, take the camera with you. Let me see if the doors are locked or, things like that. So we don't, but
Okay.
as far as like, taken away from her childhood. That's
Mhm.
one thing I promised myself a long time ago before I even had children I would never do because I understood how that felt. So we
Okay.
don't. But I do. My daughter, my 12-year-old does watch my 8-year-old, and
Oh yeah. And
she
there's nothing
rather
wrong with that.
she rathers that
Come here.
Than
because
anybody else.
she's fearful of daycare.
My baby.
Okay.
Okay, baby.
And you know what? Just to hear you just your whole dialogue of all of that is just it's phenomenal. Like everything you
Thank you.
said is so spot on. You got the camera system going.
Mhm.
Everything is like it's just amazing how you're able to just like I said you structured your life around your children's protection. And
Mhm.
then some people they don't have it. Just like some parents. Oh my goodness, I've seen some parents leave for the weekend. Children knocking on the door outside. And I'm looking like, Lord, where's your mom? And you
Right.
don't want to like get involved because then you have to worry about CPS and all of this. And I
Right.
just watch them and just make sure nobody hurts them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, but I get it, Queen. I get it.
But
Reggie,
that's how it was
Hey, I'm gonna
structured
say,
back in the
I'm
day.
let y'all. I'm enjoying. I'm gonna let y'all come in. I got my notes. I'm listening. So,
yeah.
so trust me, I got my notes. I'm gonna say,
We
I learned so much from her in the last few minutes. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, lock door, phone, camera. Okay, I learned so much that quick, Queen. Let's go, keep going.
But it
Yeah,
took me
I love it.
it took a bad experience for daycare for me to get there.
Mm,
And so
okay.
and I don't want to, put that on
Right,
national
understandable.
TV on live, but we could talk
Right,
about it
right,
in the backstage. But it was
right.
a horrible experience to where that was the better choice.
Yeah.
The better choice was to keep my kids home. And like I said, I've been doing this for 17 years, my profession. And so most of the time I work 12 hours, 12 hours, sometimes 14, 16, sometimes laid
Mm,
over because of the storms or the snow or whatever. So
mm,
this was the best decision I made was to go part-time and work at night,
mhm.
for a few hours, run my businesses during the day so I
Okay.
could be available for my kids. But back in the day, nothing has changed. Only thing that's changed is you're scared to let your neighbors know the kids are home by themselves because you don't really
That
know if
part.
the neighbor is
That.
looking out for your kid or looking for your kid.
And
So
see, that's the thing. You said, listen, you let the whole bag of worms fall out the cup. You understand me? Because at this particular point, you don't know whether to not know your neighbor or know your neighbor. Like
Right.
you know how they used to say in the church house, now lean up to your neighbor.
Right.
I don't even want to know these folks. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna just be honest and keep it 1,000. Unless you know about me, I don't. The last
Right.
question you ask me. You understand what I mean?
Right.
And I love
But
it, and I love your perspective on it
thank
because,
you.
like I said, it's a lot of things that you just brought me, hooked me up to. That I'm gonna pass that on to my son. Make sure you got this camera. You know,
Right.
and I love it,
Right.
and I love it. And I love it. And that's the thing. A lot of people, like we said, you're able to be able to structure your life. I was able. And sometimes people just don't. It's just, some people are just not accountable, Queen. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Some people just not accountable. And we're fortunate to
Right.
be, to have, I was fortunate to have a sister like you. You
Mhm.
understand? And your kids are fortunate to have a mom like you to still be able to protect them. So at the end of the
Right.
day, like I said, it's a change of heart is, it has to fit, I guess. Is it the proper timing, or how old do they need to,
Well,
what is
if you check your state laws, most
uh
state laws do not have an age
okay,
um for children to start babysitting. It the clause states similar to maturity level.
okay,
It's the maturity level that matters. So if you were to see a 12-year-old at home by themselves babysitting a kid or whatever, there's no age, there's not an age requirement. But if that
okay.
child is competent enough, that's the word, competent,
Yeah,
and
competent.
mature enough to babysit, then there's no crime.
Okay, makes sense. And then not only that, you enlighten us on some things that some people may not know, and we appreciate that as well. So, with that being said, too, like you said, the competency. It's some like it's some instances where you can't leave your kids at home with their
Right.
older sibling because some systems, and you, like you said, you've been in law, some instances where the older siblings would do something to the young ones, and you
Right.
have to be, aware. And
Mhm.
thank God, I would even have to experience that. Thank you, Jesus. But there's so many kids that experience that because they go off of what they see and what's around them, and they try to apply it. And I've seen that so many times where the older
But
brothers, you know,
but
was doing stuff. You
I
know,
had a foster son who his babysitter
mm.
was raping him.
Was you see what I'm saying? And I had a
Mhm.
cousin whose son died, who passed away. Rest in peace to the baby, and who passed away in the daycare. He was a baby who actually
Mhm.
passed in the
Yeah,
daycare. So I
babies
feel
are
your
very
perspective.
negligent. But I got one better for you. Mama left baby with daddy. Daddy comes in the hospital with baby stuck on him.
Oh, girl, go ahead, because I'm about to go. It be that for me. See, that's the thing. Like I said, we can be here forever on that topic. But that's the thing for me. Why as well? I say I structure myself around
You
my
still
kids
breathing?
because of what I experienced throughout
Huh?
life and
Still
my friends. It was I wanted to make sure that if my kids were out of the sight of my eye, I was afraid.
that,
And that's one of the reasons why I say what I said, because I wanted to make sure that it was an opportunity where the older sibling or the dad, I needed to be, I was so afraid of life or something happened to my kids that
Mhm.
I literally became the PTA president at my kids' school.
Mhm.
I volunteered and I was still able to work. And
Mhm.
the thing was, I volunteered 300 hours in the Cobb County school system, and they wanted me to actually join the school board system. And I wasn't
Mhm.
ready for that because it was too much taking on. I started doing the acting thing, and I was blessed to get opportunity. But I was just so afraid, Queen, that like you said, I didn't want to take my kids to the daycare center. I had bad things that happened, experienced with people and loved ones that I know also through child care center. I had things that happened to me when I was and a little child that shouldn't have happened as an adult person watching a child, she pinching on me, and just low down things that adult people do that are. So that's one of the reasons why I never really trusted people around my kids because I was just afraid of what they would do. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons
Right.
why I just took on trying to be at home when they're there, and and be at work when they're not. So I get it. Totally get it. And that's crazy. And it's sad we have to go through that at this day and time. We have to deal with it. We can't trust the neighbors. Used to have what they call latchkey kids. We the last
Yeah.
of the latchkey kids.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And
So
my daughter was a latchkey at one point, but I just so many things just happened. Like
yeah.
my kids had a nanny, but I still had when I was in Atlanta, my kids had a nanny. And
Hmm.
I still had cameras in my house, and
Period.
and the nanny was still. I mean, she was good. She watched the kids, but she was taking she was taking shots while she was watching my kids.
Oh Lord, listen, hey,
So
have mercy, sweet baby.
listen,
Sweet cornbread, what's going on here? You understand me?
yeah.
Yay,
Listen.
look at
And
him,
I
man.
understand because I tell people all the time it takes a vineyard to raise kids, not a village. It takes a vineyard.
But she was a good little nanny
She was a
though.
little bit though, you
But
know, a
she,
little
yeah,
too
hey, I don't. Listen, we don't condone any type of alcohol use with the kids on IML, man.
bit.
Okay, we do not. So,
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have been okay if it was just like the
yeah,
wine,
yeah.
but it was like
If she
my
had my kind, I would have
tequila.
been all right. If she had what I like, I might have been like, okay, she pour me a shot to get down. But not too many of them. Just one or two, you know.
Yeah, okay, mailman, what's up?
Nah. That's crazy. I just been listening to y'all conversation, man. I mean, y'all have said some great things. A lot of things on here that I agree with y'all with too. So y'all have definitely shared some great things. And
Hmm.
one thing I want to say to the guy that you say had the baby went in the hospital and he still
Oh,
breathing.
my nerve aid.
That dude,
Oh,
I'm
there,
sick.
man.
yeah.
Mm.
I just want to know if he's not breathing. I understand. That's all I want.
No, I he ended up going to jail, but
Jail ain't.
the staff there refused to treat him, and they were like hitting on him and stuff, and they lost their job
I don't see
because
why.
they were supposed because they signed an oath. They took an oath
You
with
got to
him.
sign an oath that
Yeah,
oath. I'm
Man,
sure you got to still treat them. Treat them.
man,
You
still
got to
got to
give them
treat him.
humane treatment.
Right.
nah,
Humane treatment. You still got to treat them with civil rights. You can't violate their civil rights.
man, I can't even see it, bro. I can't even see it.
And
Nah,
so that's what, like I said, that's the reason why I always wanted to like be able to be my kids call my name. I want to be able to say I'm right here, baby.
Mhm.
But
Right.
I was fortunate, Queen, to be able to have and make the money that I did to where, like you said, I had a babysitter too, and her name Missy Vaughn. She did her thing too. But when I needed her, she was always right there for me. And she know I'm only an hour or so away.
Right.
Like anything happens to my kids, there's a visa off the
Right.
planet you can go ahead and take. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
man.
And
Period.
I don't work far from my kids either. Now
Right.
I work
That part.
literally like 5 to 7 minutes away.
Hey,
So
I can get you in 10 minutes. That's all I need.
and my daughter goes to the gun range. So listen, like
I knew it. I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna
my baby
say
goes to
that.
the gun range. So and
I knew you was gonna say that. I
she
knew
loves
it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I
she
knew
loves
it.
her.
Um,
Yeah, but
I
that's
knew it.
kudos to her dad. Like kudos to her father because he takes her.
yeah,
You know, he
he the
teaches.
incredible hope.
I think every young woman should learn how
So
to
he's
shoot a
incredible.
gun.
You get on my nerve. He teaches her gun safety and
Exactly. They should be able to
yeah. So
handle a
shout out to
gun.
her father for that. He does that
Exactly.
he
Hey,
gets
shout
her
out to the
almost every
dad.
weekend and throughout the week. So he does that.
But
So
in the world that we live in, I think these young women should learn how to get some self
Absolutely.
protection or
Absolutely.
safety training to protect themselves. Because we live in a crazy world, y'all. Crazy time.
I
Um,
definitely agree. I think you definitely should take your kids to the gun range, get them comfortable with guns, and make sure that they understand 100% how to use
Hmm.
and understand 100% gun safety. So that
mhm.
is definitely
Hmm.
something that more parents need to start doing with their kids, and not especially in our community because the other
Right.
they're already doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They had the kids going
Hmm.
that
But also teach
route.
them when the necessity of it. Like when do you use
When to touch it.
To
what you
understand,
taught, what you were
you need
taught.
to understand the rules, the laws, the consequences, the good, the bad.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. I was working with the Georgia gun. I'm sorry, the Georgia Gun Coalition when I got shot. Like I said, I was shot, and with that, I learned so much about learning how to. A lot of times, statistically, a lot of times the injury are from self-inflicted wound of the gun owner themselves.
Mhm.
So, train a child how to use a weapon effectively, safely. is always a good thing. It's nothing wrong. And the sad part about it, we need to teach more of our children of that.
Yeah, it is.
Instead of teaching them how to twerk, do all this other die, make sure they like I said, a lot of them need to know how to handle a fire. My daughter had a firearm. Matter of fact, both my daughters in the military. Both of them. You understand me? So with that being said, they already know how to handle weaponry.
Yeah,
So it's just like just making sure that we keep our kids. We shouldn't have to feel like we can't take our kids anywhere because it's not safe in the stores, not safe in the schools, not safe when you walk down the street. It's like we're not saying where are we safe if our kids are not safe? I mean, what's safe?
no,
Nothing's safe.
I agree with you on that. I totally agree. So that's definitely Ja.
I'm here.
Oh, I seen your little circle, your little internet thing start circling.
I'm
Like,
here.
oh shit. All right, so now we going back to I was writing down notes while y'all were talking, listening. And I heard y'all said some good lot of good things, but still I have to go back to the topic and I still have to disagree. It is not a child's responsibility, be that if a mother has to work, if a mother has to whatever it may be, it's not that child. Whatever you got to do, it's not that child's responsibility. Again, let me say this. I understand there are sometimes scenarios where a person might have to go run somewhere that's real quick. That's understandable. But for that child to have to be a parent at that young age or whatever age, it's not their responsibility to
So
take.
is it that child being a parent though?
It is, yes, because it's not that.
So if you were to hire a young lady to watch your children, what's the difference?
They're getting paid to do a job. That's a
So
totally different thing.
they're getting paid to be a parent.
They're getting, yep, they're getting paid to be the parent
No,
of that role.
that's not parenting.
You're
Just
putting in
because you're
not
watching, you're
necessarily
babysitting.
paying somebody to say, hey, this is what they, for one, they had a choice. It's what they chose to say, hey, I'll be willing to watch your child for you while you go off and do XYZ. So that's a choice. And for two, they're getting paid to do a job. You're employing
So
somebody.
if I pay my child to watch the children, then at that point, it's not neglecting them.
It's like a 22
They're being
sport.
paid to do a service.
We wouldn't even say if you paying. So we'll get to the age of paying first. Before we're gonna get to that part, but let me say this.
You could pay a 12-year-old to watch children now, so I don't understand what you mean about the age thing.
But hold on, I'm gonna show you the age things. And what I'm saying is that child, when the parents, whatever year however they went in and they went in that room, and you said that they don't know that they're gonna be a single parent or that they're not gonna have somebody.
Sometimes it don't even be single parents. Families do that because
Hold on,
in this economy, both parents have to work.
Okay, but you said earlier, you said they don't know that they're
That was piggybacking off of what you said prior.
hold on. You saying a person might not know that they might end up single.
That was in the rebuttal of what you said about people laying down and single parents.
Okay, but we're gonna talk single parents. And I see more single parents, but we can come to the point of joint families, but we're gonna stay on the single parent issue.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't know that man or woman is gonna stay around to help you raise this child.
Mm-hmm.
We all are grown, so you know what comes with the consequences of laying in the sheets and creating a child. So you have to still mentally be able to say, even if that person lies to your face and say, baby, I'm gonna be here with you, we're gonna raise this child together. And after you had a child a year from now, that person say, if you ain't helping you with that child, that's your responsibility. I'm going. You still had to know that a year and a half or so ago that possibility could happen. That's
okay.
Not getting a car. You know your intentions of getting a car is not to go get in an accident, but you still have to have the insurance just so in case you do get in an accident, you're already planning for that. So my thing is saying when you have a child, just because you might then expect to be a single parent, that doesn't give you the right as a parent to say, hey, I'm gonna push that responsibility. Oh, I got this other, I got you, you're older, watch your sibling. No,
right. That's what they
you are supposed to go out and figure out, hey, what do I do? Do I get a job that works from home? Do I increase my income to be
work from home jobs just became prevalent because of COVID.
You're right.
So there was no such thing as a work from home job, especially if you think. Let's talk about back in the day, like they were still siblings were keeping each other for decades and eons.
But that doesn't
and there was no such thing as a work at home job.
I'm just giving out options. You don't have to, even if we talking in the 80s, that was still a choice. You can make something else. You might couldn't work from home.
What could you have done, Reggie?
but if
I'm
you
not
got to
understanding.
figure something out. That's what I'm saying. I can't.
And they
I guess
did. It was the older
if I
sibling.
can iterate, I guess he's saying that it's not the child's responsibility. Is that what you're saying? Like,
It's
is,
not.
is that what you're saying? It's not the child's responsibility, regardless of what the situation is.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, the
So
two
Reggie,
adults put in that,
so when you became a single
take
parent,
that and put that onto the two adults. Don't put that onto the child because
okay.
that is you and another adult made a decision.
So while you were working, your kids never was home by themselves.
So no, let me show you how I did it. So when my kids was younger, I didn't have my kids since they came out their mama.
I know that.
Okay, so when me and their mama was together, what we did was we alternated our work schedules. One of us worked in the day.
But when y'all weren't together, we're not talking about that.
We separated. By the time me and her separated, I had already started my own business.
Right.
So I already had my own business going to where it allowed me to be able to work my schedule around their schedule. So now my schedule would be when I'm getting up at 6, getting them dressed, getting them on the school bus so they can leave to get ready and go to school and get on that bus at 7. And then I got them in after school care that extends the school day from 2:45.
But all of them weren't school age when you separated.
They wasn't out of school age. I'm gonna tell you, my daughter, we had what it was, the that program where you can get your kids in the daycare. Thank God I had the program where my kids could go to the daycare and go.
Right. So there you go. So thank God that you were afforded the opportunity. But what about persons who were not afforded that?
If I didn't have that, I would have had to figure something out. But I was blessed enough to have that. But let me show you though. Okay. The last year, my baby girl, my youngest daughter, when my second youngest daughter, my middle daughter, Desi, when she finished up in the program, we ended up losing that program for my daughter Deja when we was going into her year to get ready and go to the pre-K program. So
so prior to that, where was Deja then?
Deja, at first she was going to school, and then when they got ready to switch over to the free programming, they kicked her out the program. So I lost that program for a whole year. For that whole year that she couldn't go to school, she went to work with her dad. Me and my baby, we had a routine. We wake up in the morning, we fix our peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we get our juices, we got there and go in there, make sure she use the bathroom before we leave and get in the truck. My baby get back there in her car seat, dad get on the cash route, and we rolling. Me and my baby.
So do you think that she would have been safer home with a sibling, or she was safer out in the atmosphere with you?
She was safer with me.
How? When you were dealing with strangers and people that you didn't know, and people that could have access because they didn't feel like you surveyed their lawn correctly.
I'm not. No, just this. I owned the trash company at the time, so I'm not dealing with people. All I'm doing is getting out throwing trash on the truck.
Okay, so what happened to somebody if you and so you took her with you outside of the truck to throw the trash in the truck?
It ain't got to go outside the truck. She's sitting right there in the truck with me with her dad. So any way you could kind of, I see you can paint a picture to say, well, you getting out the truck, somebody could have jumped in the truck. We know some scenario can happen. It doesn't matter what scenario you go with. Anything that you do, somebody could have punched me in the head. Somebody could have stole the truck. Yes, but I took on the responsibility. I didn't push that off on my kids. I made sure that I sat down and I had to take on that responsibility. So that means I got to make sure that I'm extra cautious. I got to make sure when I'm getting in and out that I'm being aware. I got all these things. I'm doing it, not my child. So I figured out alternative solutions
because you were fortunate to have your business.
But I still made.
But everybody
can make a choice to be.
But everybody can't. I think we have this false pretense that everyone is afforded the same opportunities, and that's very false.
But I'm not responsible for everybody else. I'm just responsible for me and mine. I'm only concerned about what's happening with all parents. We all get the same 24 hours in a day. Is what you
but
do
we all
with
don't have the same opportunities in that 24 hours of the day.
That's what you do with it.
We don't.
Thank God.
I can't take that, but I'll tell you why. Life for me was hard as hell.
And life for somebody else was harder.
You're right.
things that I had to go through in life, some people
Absolutely.
probably wouldn't even survive. But I took
Mm.
a bad situation. I didn't make it worse. I
But
got
that goes with
lemonade out of it. I took
and,
that shit and I
and guess
squeezed it out
what?
of it. And
Somebody that didn't have your foundation, didn't have the gumption, whatever, their life could have been different from yours.
it is different. But what I'm saying is, like she said, the 24 hours that we have.
Just because everybody has 24 hours does not mean they have the same opportunities in
Okay,
that 24-hour
if
time
they
period.
make it, if you make a bad decision, you had a choice to make a bad decision, but you also got a choice to make a good decision. So it doesn't matter. You make a decision of what you want to go out and do. So you can make a decision to go and do something wrong just because you had it. You could have, let's say a person had it harder than me. That's
Yeah.
true. Let's say, but they still got the option to make something right or wrong. You can still
How
break.
do you? But how do you know? How do you figure that they have the option to do right or wrong?
It
That's just
doesn't.
like saying.
It
That's just
doesn't.
like
Right or
saying.
wrong doesn't go nowhere.
So the other day,
Make a choice.
yeah, but so like the other day we had to call this guy. This guy went into the grocery store and he stole formula, Pampers, and some baby food for his kid
Okay.
because he wasn't afforded the opportunity to do nothing else. He couldn't do nothing else. That was
So
what
that's the
that's what
only
he chose.
option he had.
That was the only option he had.
Okay. Tell me
Oh, he
how.
couldn't ask the manager. Let him ask the manager. Say, "Hey,
And
I'm
what you
having
thought
fun."
what you think the manager gonna say? And
No, I've been there where managers have assisted. I've been there. Hold on. I've been there where managers have assisted, wrote it off,
now,
and wrote it off. They clearly
now
wrote it off.
that
I've seen people, but you would never know the opportunity if you don't apply it.
You got John. You can't just say that wasn't his only option. That's the option he chose.
He gave.
that's what you think because you're not in that. It's
Okay.
easy for people to say I wouldn't have, I would have, I should have, I couldn't have, I didn't, because you've never been in that position to where
Nah,
you
I
didn't
didn't
have
vote
you
for
didn't have
shit.
I've been in that
I done
position,
been in
and
a
I
position
didn't do
where
that.
I was gonna pay rent. I've been in positions where I was sitting here like, how the fuck?
Yeah, but you still have family. You still got your
If
mama.
my mama
You
didn't
still
pay,
had.
I had to use this. My mama.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you knew that you had. See, don't sit here and neglect the fact that you had a village, or you had.
I do have my mama. I do have my.
Right,
I do,
absolutely.
okay,
And some
but
people don't have that.
still, even if you don't have your
Have
mama,
it.
you still have options. You got option to do right. You got option to do wrong. Which one are you
And
gonna
they
get? Wrong is
and
optional. You know why?
and sometimes the option is
Because
that.
wrong
And
is
and the only
out
option
of
some people
options.
have is if that kid can watch their kid, and that. So I mean, we can just
No,
agree to disagree on that one
you can't.
because
Right.
No matter how you look at the situation, it's always a choice. You don't have to always pick the choice that's the easiest. Sometimes you pick the choice that's got
well, it's not easy for
relative.
parents to leave their children and have their
Yeah.
oldest to watch their youngest. It's not
Some
that's not an
parents, it is
easy
easy. You got
that's
some
not an
parents that'll
easy
throw their
choice.
kids and go to the club.
No, it ain't easy because you be worried. You
They'll
still
turn
be worried as a parent. You still concerned.
I
I
worry
mean,
when my
you're
kids
right.
go
A good
I
parent is
worry
gonna worry. I'm not
I
saying
worry
that
when my kids
our
go to
parents
school.
is bad.
I worry when
No.
my kids go to school because I don't know if that teacher is going to protect my kid like they're theirs. I don't know. I mean,
The teacher's the monster.
I've experienced teachers talking to my young, at the time, 11-year-old daughter about guys pullout games.
Mm-hmm.
So and
Inappropriately.
opening up
That is
doors that should have never been opened.
that,
So
I agree with you 1,000% on that. I agree with
So
you a million.
regardless of where my kids are, I'm scared when they're in the car with me. I am scared for my children, regardless of where we are, especially in the way that the world is going now.
And I agree totally with her on
I
that.
can understand that because
So I can't say that I just carefreely allow my daughter to watch my son because, you know what I'm saying, and I don't have a care in the world. I'm not fearful. But if I take them to the daycare, I'll be fearful too. Is that daycare only gonna
Is
touch
that
my kid?
I'm not
it?
saying what you're saying. Like I say, it's like trying to choose the lesser of two evils.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
get what you're saying on that aspect.
Isn't that what you do when you vote for the president?
You're right. I agree with you.
I choose the lesser of the two evils.
I'm not
And one of them gonna
But
protect
then,
the country.
I'm not.
and I get where Reggie come from. It's like some women who have abortions, and I don't even want to talk about this subject. Some women have abortion because they simply know they cannot afford to take care of their child in the way that the child should be cared for. And it may be, and it be for other actions too. But solely a lot of time it be that they can't just simply afford to take care of their kids in the way that we as women, as we are, to take care of our kids. And a lot of times it results in that. So that's why even just talking on that subject about I know a lot of kids who I just can't afford another kid. But in my mind, I'd be saying, well, why are you still having unprotected sex?
But most women have abortions not because they
You know?
can't take care of a kid,
No, I'm not
but
saying that they can't. I'm saying that a lot of it is the option. A lot of the places, because where I'm from, Mississippi, we have one of the biggest orphanage homes in the southeastern region of the country,
and where
and
where you
most of
at in
those kids.
Mississippi? I'm Gulfport. Where you at?
I'm in Columbus, right here by
Oh,
Starkville.
you over there where Reggie at? Reggie, where you at?
Yeah,
I'm from Jackson. Jackson and Meridian.
he's
That's
from
where
he's from
Meridian. There it
he's
is,
from Hines
Meridian.
County. I'm from Lowndes County. I'm up there
yeah,
by Tupelo.
yeah. Hines County, you hit it right on the
Yeah,
head.
that look at I'm smiling. Don't be
Ah,
smiling.
that's what's happening.
So I'm on the coast. Yeah.
Hines,
Yeah, she a water baby.
I love Mississippi. That's my Mississippi is what that's who made me, you know.
You
So
know, we on the map, baby. We on the map. They can't even play with us
Yeah, they
like
on the map all right. Where they flag is they Confederate flag,
Confederate.
United
Look,
States flag.
look, Confederate. Okay, Confederate. It's okay.
they racist as hell in Mississippi now. They
Oh
Yeah,
racist,
it is.
yeah.
you
I'm
Y'all
know.
see
talking
they
about
passed a
burning
law where
straight like that right there.
they can't
We
teach
love, we love
African
them
American
cricket letter,
history anymore.
cricket letter I. We love it. But
Did y'all see
after
that
three,
where they passed the law where you can't teach African American history?
Hey,
oh yeah, I see it in Florida.
they plotted in
No, they
Mississippi.
did that in Mississippi first,
I know
honey.
you playing. Are you
I
serious?
am not.
Florida was
I
first.
gotta look it up tonight.
No, Mississippi was first. Florida just did that this year. Mississippi did it like what last year sometime.
I
You
didn't
I
know.
think
can't
we
even
also
teach.
just we should.
You
I think
can't
we should
even
all just sue for
major.
reparation at this point
I didn't
You
know.
can't
individually.
I didn't
even
know. I didn't know
major
Mississippi had did it.
in African American studies or anything anymore.
I know.
Oh wow! Erasing history right in front of our
Well,
eyes.
you know, it's what was it, 2013? That's when they abolished slavery in Mississippi.
Yeah, I know.
Finally, we've been slaves since I've been a slave since 1978 and stands in 2013. Can I get my reparation, please?
You
I don't
oh
even know.
my god!
Can I get a coin?
How was them people still got there enslaved and didn't know it was freedom that late? How in the,
The same way they didn't find out about women
Well,
with freedom and the
well, what it
Juneteenth.
was that they never put it. They never what changed it or
well, I
sent it
It
know
to
the
was
the.
never changed. The law was never
they
changed.
never signed it and that was filed, but it was actually a county in Mississippi where they still had slaves.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
That don't surprise me.
They still
I was one. Listen,
it was
hand
free.
me my coin. I was one in 2013. I need my first check first. You
Damn.
understand me? But listen, that even that just even talk to touch on something of that. It's the thing now that and what we had in Mississippi is insane, insane because what people understand in Juneteenth, we sit and we run and jump behind these holidays, but there was no firecracker popping on Juneteenth. But the thing is, Juneteenth is when they found out. January 1965, 17, whatever, 1865 is when they had went in effect. Went in effect in January. They didn't find out
I think it was
until
3 years.
exactly. It had went in effect. All laws
But
went in effect in January,
we still weren't free on Juneteenth either.
and still wasn't free. I
Look,
still played. Man, listen,
So
I
what
still
you
ride
gonna say?
past cotton
Shut
fields in my
up.
hometown. I ride past cotton fields. My sister, they got 15 acres of nothing but cotton and soybean. So if you're from Mississippi, you know what's going on. You're gonna see that corn. I ain't gonna call it corn. That's the proper terminology. That cone. You're gonna see that cone, that cotton. Okay?
hey,
You're gonna see it.
that shit is crazy. Mississippi is definitely crazy.
Yeah, out there loud.
I say we're gonna move on to our next
All
topic.
right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next subject.
So here's my thing. In a nutshell, to sum this up, is how I feel about. I don't think that it's a child responsibility to take on the parents' adult decision. Just because we choose to lay down with a person and we know the consequences of laying down with two adults and that a child could be produced in this situation. And just because life kicks in, and I'm gonna say life be that if you gotta work, if you gotta pay the electric, the water, gas, you gotta have a car repairs, all these things kick in. I understand this. We all know this once you're grown, and you still choose to go out here and keep making all these kids. And then now you want to use as your scapegoat, you want to push your responsibility off on your children. That's not right. Let that child be a child. A child needs to be a child and understand what it means to be a child. Because once that child it becomes a adult, they're never going back to that childhood. You never go back to that. So let them enjoy it. That's what I tell my kids now. I always tell my kids, enjoy being a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rush it. Don't rush it.
Don't rush it, baby.
Enjoy it, have
Woo.
fun in it, and I allow them to have fun to be a kid because I want them to know once you get into adulthood like me, this is it. You hit the final stage. You hit the final stage of being a kid. So I disagree for parents of putting the responsibility of their child onto their other siblings. That's not right. Be them. You laid up and you either you laid up and you open your legs, or you went up in there and you went between a woman's legs. No matter whichever one, be that man or woman, you went up under there. You knew what could happen. Take care of your child. Stop putting the responsibility on them. And I'm speaking. I'm not saying if it's wrong. Like, oh, I got to run to this certain thing. You got to go do something here every now and then. And your child is old enough and understand responsibility. I'm saying to those that do it on a consistent basis, and it has become normal to that child to say, "Oh, I got to watch my little sister. I got to watch my little brother." And I got to do this and do that. When they might want to go in there and watch SpongeBob, but they can't really watch SpongeBob and enjoy it because they got,
SpongeBob ain't for children. So go ahead.
huh? You said,
SpongeBob not for children.
well, I use that. I don't know. My grandson got me learning some of the new cartoons, so I know a little bit more of these cartoons after hanging out with him for a little more. But let a child be a child. I don't agree that a child should take on the responsibilities of two adults. That's my opinion on that
Well,
situation.
yeah, I don't agree with his opinion because my kid
What's
do
your opinion?
everything under the sun. My baby still do everything under the sun. She is not. She's not neglected from being a kid. My
Okay.
baby does more than the average child who doesn't have the responsibility of keeping their sibling when their mama go to work. My baby is in gymnastics. She's in dance. She's in theater. She's in track. She runs track and in the spring and in the summer. She trains throughout the year. She's she goes. We go to Georgia for her to train. She trained with professional athletes. She trained here with a professional. So I mean, she doesn't. She's not neglected from being a kid. Her friends come over. We have what we call friend fun night every other weekend. Friend Fridays. That. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I guess that there's realms in which you're speaking of, true, but I don't agree that every child that watches their sibling misses out on their childhood. I don't agree with that. And I
Okay.
know for a fact mine don't miss out.
So
She
what this?
gone now. Ask me where she at now. Gone.
Mm-hmm. In the
Gone.
spring.
So what
Now
is?
In
I
the
don't let her
spring.
spend the night with friends, but that's not because she got to keep her sibling. That's because she ain't spending the night with nobody at nobody house. They can come here.
So what's your final thoughts on this topic, Jamaica?
Like I said, I disagree with it simply for my own personal reason that, regardless of what it is that I'm responsible for my kids, regardless of what the scenario is. And so I'm just saying I don't agree with children, older siblings watching their youngest children, siblings, simply because at the end of the time, there's still time taken away from them regardless of what they're doing outside or what they're doing personally. If you want to just go, be a kid, just be a kid. You only get one opportunity to be a kid. So just be silly, be child. You don't have to be serious. You don't have to, And I get what the queen is coming from, but like she made a statement. She said, "Well, I go get the camera." Uh, that type of thought process is like, and I say anxiety. Oh, take the camera, lock the door. That for me is anxiety. If my mom's calling me, telling me to lock the door to the dog, it creates anxiety in, not say to be perfection, but to just be on point when my mind can just be at ease or something different. So I just feel like I said it's good and it's bad. And I feel where she come from, where you come from, but mine is still no. That's just a personal note for me.
All right, so everybody, I want y'all when you watch this video, leave a comment and let us know which one who do you agree? Do you agree with Miss Ja? But she say she don't think it's really it depending on how the parent is, because if the parent is a person that still do the responsibilities but still know how to let the child be a child, and it's okay for them to watch the sibling, or do you agree with me and Jamaica about that? We say no, that a child should be a child, and They should be able to enjoy their childhood. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let's see what the comments say. Let's see how many people say yes and no on the situation, and we're gonna read that, and we're gonna find out what's the verdict of just people watching this podcast episode, and you know what y'all think. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the next topic of the night, the final topic that we got of the night. Now, I don't know how y'all ladies gonna feel on this one, y'all. But I'm pointing the fingers at the ladies. Now, y'all might point.
I want to hear what the queen got to say too. Girl, I'm intrigued because she's like,
hey,
on that one.
And Jai go back in the debate. She gonna give her opinion.
I love it.
I'm gonna give my opinion, and you know, sometimes we have our agree when we walk away and we both agree, and then sometimes we have it now.
And I love being in the middle of it, y'all.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be we're gonna definitely share the opinion. So on this one, and I want y'all, when y'all in the comments, leave y'all say, Mel, what you talking, Mel, is full of BS. If it's not, y'all agree with it, let me know. So, all right, I know we hear a lot of conversations. Y'all hear the Kevin Samuels, y'all hear hear the Andrew Tates, y'all hear all the podcasts that's out there on the internet, in this internet world. We got all these podcasts and everybody talking about something. I just want to know, since everybody's still talking about it, and it is, what's today, July the 22nd of 2023. If everybody's talking about it, I learned at an age, a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other mistakes. So I would apply that. Just because they use the word man, I would say a smart person learns from their mistake, and a smarter person learns from other mistakes. So since we have all these videos and things that talk about this, why are women still doing the same dumb thing? Why are women still dating a man, letting this man live in your house, ride in your car, eat your food, and do all these things, take care of him? He don't pay to help you pay. He can't even help you pay the $30 water bill. The $30 water bill he can't help you pay. But you still allowing this man to come in and live in your house. You just want to have a piece of a man? Just so you can walk in front of your girl and say, girl, I got a man. Look right here. You single. You going home by yourself, but every night, I got a man that lay down. If you want some pipe, you can roll over and get you some pipe because you got a man that's laying right there. Hell, he ain't got nothing else to do. He might as well give you some damn pipe. It ain't like he got a job to go to. But you will accept it. But then you'll come back later and get mad. I'm tired of paying all these bills by myself. I'm tired of having to do this. I ain't never got no money for me. I can't never do nothing. I'm always broke every time I got out of it. You come back and complain, but you knew what you was getting into. Now, let me tell you why I say that, why we still living in this. Now, y'all know I own multiple companies. I own a landscaping company. This past week, I'm on the way home. I'm riding. This is a personal experience. I felt some type of way. I wanted to call the police, but then I was like, I don't know if I ought to call the police because I don't want to get the kids put in foster care or whatever. And now they got to go through some struggle. So I was torn in between. So the only thing I could do was pray about the situation. All right,
you pray? No, man, go ahead.
I had to pray for him. That's the only thing I could do.
We'll talk about that one later.
I'm riding in the truck. I see this it's 5 o'clock traffic, and I see this woman, and I see she's in the driver's seat. It's I think maybe another kid or two in the back seat, and there's a gentleman. There's a guy in the passenger seat. So I looked in the car and I looked down, and I see this woman driving this car with a hand baby in her hands, her stomach, and the steering wheel. The dude, he over there just parlaying with his hand in the window, just riding with the seat back.
He probably let her pump the gas too. Okay.
I wouldn't put it past, probably do. He over here riding with his hand in the window, just chilling.
Okay.
So look at this. I got my son in the truck with me, and I'm like, what kind of is this?
Man.
Why is this woman driving this car in 5, 6 o'clock traffic? It's bumper to bumper.
Great traffic.
Georgia traffic is horrible. It is horrible. And you are not trying to tend to a baby when you got this whole man, this body. I'm gonna say you got this whole body over here And in my brain, now y'all can tell me maybe I'm thinking wrong. In my brain, I see certain options he could have did. He could have said, "Baby, let me drive the car. You tend to the baby."
You know, don't be having no driver's license. You know how you notice it. You
No,
know how expensive it is when you see it.
I already don't say that. Then he
Loud, let air it up so we can eat it up, baby. Listen. Oh, no.
I already thought about that. He ain't got no license. Okay,
Woo.
cool. Next thing he could have said, "Okay, well, baby, how about we pull over at the gas station, get the baby straight, and goddamn, then we get back to driving." Then
Right.
could be that. Well, no, we got to be at a certain place at a certain time.
That's just too right.
I can't stay. We got to go. Okay. So then I'm like, what other option then could have been brought? Baby, how about this? How about you give me the baby? I'll tend to the baby while you're driving and make sure that the baby is okay so you can focus on the road so we get to our destination safely. But then like, well, the guy, I ain't got patience, man. You know, I don't know how to get him straight. He hungry. He gonna want the breast. You got to give him the breast. It's gonna be something. But y'all women allow it. Y'all allow it. So
why is always a job?
Why is it that was your first perspective? First of all, if I would have seen that, I would have thought differently. I wouldn't have thought like, oh, it was her. Yeah, he could be abusive.
He could be abusive. Yeah, a lot of times it be this.
Why you staying with somebody that's abusive then?
Because everybody don't know how to leave. Man, everybody don't
Some
know
people
that.
get conditioned.
You think it's so easy. Like you have like this.
You see these right here? Ain't these keys?
Yeah, but it's more.
It ain't always the case. That's not always the case.
Because
it's always you can't. It's not that easy.
It's not always the case.
So you telling me it's easy to put your child in danger?
It is not easy.
For some people, that may be a life chance. Maybe the only option you have. Some people, you don't know if he had a gun to his side and told him to drive. You can't weigh the option by just one single observation. You don't notice if you at a gas station or something like that, and you put or whatever, and you can see other observations of what happened. You can't make a point off of something that just only on one observation. He could have had a gun, tore ahead and told him to drive,
or been known to do that, or known.
And men are known to do that badly.
Okay, he could have been fighting her. He could be beating her kids, and she would have said something out the way.
He would not
even suggested for him to hold the baby. He could have been so crazy he would have thrown the baby out. That's like
out the window. Exactly.
Right. What was that movie? That Tyler Perry movie when that man got
threw that baby
threw the kids out the window.
It ain't even a movie. We can talk real life about the guy that threw the baby, the 2-year-old baby over the bridge.
On the bridge.
That just happened like 2-3 months ago.
Exactly.
So you didn't answer your own question.
I'll agree with y'all on that. I'm not telling that's right.
But no, when you said why does it take a long time to get rid of a no good man? Well, first you gotta find out if they're no good man. It's like if you find out about your woman and she's no good, you first gotta find out. Then you do the exit plan. Because all while it's good and willy and nilly, you don't know that. But first time she tell you a lie, you be like, oh, okay. So do you put her out right then and then say, oh, you a bad woman, or do you try to wait and figure out there's another lie to tell?
You can't ask him that.
What is your cutoff line?
Because that's what it seems like. You can't ask him that question.
If I catch a female lying, because I'm gonna tell a female up front. I'm gonna be very as transparent as I can with a woman, because I want that woman, if she's dealing with me, to make her own 100% decision. I don't want it to be based off deception. So I'm going to tell you the honest to God's truth. And that's sometimes probably a lot of females be like, I'm too blunt with it. But I'd rather give you that so that way you know what you're dealing with than lying to you and feed you in off of a lie. So once I tell you that.
So you still a couple of days. No, that's what you're saying.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you a chance. So, like, if I tell you that and you lie,
okay.
I told you didn't have to lie. You rather find out that I was cool, telling you, hey, be honest with me, I can accept it. But you judge me.
She still lied. It doesn't equate for what happened and what you think. She still lied. What is the consequence of the first lie? Or the first sign of trouble?
That first lie, hey, I gotta go. I can't trust
you. Okay, that's all I want. I just want to get clarity on that.
So, So
So if I can do that, why a woman can't do it?
because a woman isn't built like you.
Maybe it's the type of women you know. I think.
Women,
Doing nothing
so
no different. It's
so
nothing
so
special.
let's say this. We know that women are more emotionally in tune than a
Okay.
man
Right.
is. Okay. We also know that women have a mothering instinct.
What does
And,
that mean?
and wait a minute. And we also know that women fall for potential before we meet people where they are.
No, women fall for what they see on the outside, and they go for it if it looks good on the outside.
No,
Some
no,
women,
As hell.
no.
clarification. Some women,
Because
not all.
because when you fall for potential, let me tell you what happens when you fall for potential. You tend to stay longer than you need to
That
because
part.
you still believe that this man could be who you believe him to be or who you see he can be. But you're not patient enough
Okay,
for
let
him
me
to get
ask you
there.
this. Let's keep that potential that you just said. Let me ask you this. Okay, let's say you fall for the potential.
Hmm.
Okay, when does potential run out? When what is potential
I
time?
got a 48-hour policy. I'm sorry. I,
Well,
I see. I
it
see
just
through you right from
depends.
the gate.
Again, that comes
You
with
said 48
foundation.
hours.
But
Again,
Queen,
that comes with
bro,
foundation. Like some people weren't given the tools to know when to leave or when enough is enough. And so you stay and you wait and you forgive and you keep forgiving, and
So is
and
that
at that point
is
becomes a mental
that
issue. It becomes some type of mental something
so
that you
then
can't
you
recognize.
within you and you once that time goes by and you've invested so much, now you're like, well, I don't want to leave because I've invested all this time, all this money, all these tears, all this emotion, all
Mm.
this. So, mm,
So
but
is it the money or the peace of mind at this point? Like, because I can invest $1 million in you. When I'm done, one thing about me
well,
not
it's
talking
not so
about
much of,
this.
but see, so it's not so much of just the money though.
Right, I
Like when
know,
you
but
invest time and into
right, and
somebody,
I
and
understand. I understand. But my thing is, Queen, like for me, is once you've already been hurt, your heart get kind of conditioned to look for the fuckery. I'm sorry. I'm just
you
gonna
would
keep it
you would
simple.
think.
You like it's just like the first time you tell, what the first time it don't take me 3, 4 tries for you to tell me that it's hot.
Okay,
If you,
so how long have you been married, drinking now?
I've been married 13 years. 13
Okay,
years.
so if you found out today that your husband was sleeping around and doing X, Y, and Z, are you just gonna up and leave?
I'm out the door. You know why? Because all of this right here, and I'm giving you, listen, please. I'm out the door so quick, and I hope it split me in my crack when I'm on my way out the door. Because I have given you 13 years of solid pressure, baby. And you want to go outside, and the last time when they go out there and cheat, it only be something that even up to your stomach. And it just
So
be a quick fix. But
so out of your 13 years, you guys never had any issues when
no,
you decided
never
to
had an
separate.
issue. Never. Because the one thing about it, I'm upfront and I'm brutal. You want to play games? There's a Monopoly game. You go down to McDonald's, there's a playground, there's a park down the street. But if you want something real, you want something solid. Let's be 100 with each other. You don't like something, I don't like it. I'm not finna go through no 3, 4 years of crying and 4, 5 years of lying. I'm not doing it. Because see, while I'm wasting time with you, see, baby, the one that really wants you, really love you, and care for you, da, da, da. And that goes a different way because now the standards of love and marriage is way different from
Absolutely,
our grandmama and our granddaddy. See, back
absolutely, I
then
totally agree.
you couldn't leave the house with 8, 5 children because he kept you bad foot and pressure. You couldn't leave.
Right.
You couldn't go back to your mom and dad's house because they were ready to get really you soon you turn 14, able to broke a period. You ready to get married. You see color purple, you know what's going on. So, so they put you out there and they go, well, why can't a man leave a good you have to start now ask your own parent then because you might have seen your mama go through something and wonder, well, why did my mama leave my dad? But because you saw and witnessed that from your parents, soon as you see
Right.
it or feel it, you ready to
Get
I'm
on
gonna holler
out
at
of.
you. I'm
Not
gonna holler
all
at
women
you.
are like that though. Some women some women live in abusive
I
homes,
was one of them. I'm a survivor.
and
I'm a
and they
survivor.
don't know how to leave because mama didn't teach them how to leave.
Right. Mama stayed. Mama
Right.
stayed. So the first
Right.
time he put his hands on me, put my right hand to the good Lord Jesus.
Okay,
When I
let's
say I had packed so many garbage bags so quick and caught a bus ticket, clean Atlanta, Georgia. You know, what I look like making knock my other eye. I only got two.
okay. Let me
What,
ask you
baby, this, you get well, that one time may be your last time. And I'm not finna bet, oh, well, he didn't mean because he was drunk or he was upset for the job. I'm not giving you no opportunity because I'm not guaranteed to live tomorrow. So how am I supposed to allow you to just take that out of my life in my 24 hours? No, man.
I
No,
agree.
man. No,
I,
man.
and
No,
here's the thing.
man.
Okay. I gotta remember my thought. I can't remember. I had a thought that I was gonna say. And I agree with that. I can't. It'll come back to me. I can't remember. But my I will say this going here is I hear you on potential. I get it. You see somebody that's going something and things don't happen. I didn't. You know how many years it took for me to become the man that I am. How much stuff I had to go through to get to here.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen overnight. And it all came from a dream. But I was showing that I was working to get my dream. I can go back. You can ask my kid's mom that can tell you the gauge. It became I'm focused. I've got so focused. I was at 21 years old, 22 years old. I'm sitting here trying to learn, being a study. I go work day, get work night, come home. I'm at the computer trying to figure out how to do this, how to work QuickBooks, how I do this, how I do this, all these things.
But that don't mean that you still want shit. Just because
Right.
you was doing
I
all this.
shit, I had more shit. What you mean? Because I wouldn't fucking. I might go cheat or something. I
Uh,
might go cheat, but I'm not
I
gonna hit.
mean,
I'm not
you
gonna.
or that you. I mean, men could be all of that. They could have a solid job, a solid career.
So when
They
you say
could
ain't shit though, what's an ain't shit man? What would be an ain't shit man?
an ancient man who still disrespects you as a woman, disrespects you verbally, disrespects you physically, disrespects you, when outside of your presence. I mean,
All
you
the above.
right.
Okay, hold
You
on.
could be an
All the above.
ancient
You
nigga
give
and
me
still
and one
have
of
a
them
solid
flags.
career.
I'll
See,
tell
you give
you
me one of them flags on the plane. I'm calling you. Give me and red flag.
for me. For me, I'm not. I'm not. I wasn't faithful. I wasn't faithful. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't
So you
faithful.
weren't shit.
That,
You,
that,
you. Hey, Steve, how do you say ain't shit in Japanese?
I
You
ain't.
feel me?
I'm not. I'm not just. I wasn't. I'm talking to more than one woman. So I'm not.
Right. You
But
you
then
was in heat, honey, in heat.
I will tell you this. Yes, at that time, I probably would say that I was probably telling her I'm only talking with her, and then I'm talking to other women. Now I tell a woman I'm talking to multiple women.
Because you don't want to, we already know.
I don't care about that. But yes, then
We already know.
yes, beyond that, I don't put my hands on a woman. I don't make a woman do nothing that they don't want to do, no forcefully. I don't sit there and try to down no woman. I'm gonna treat a woman
That's
good.
now, but we talking about
Even now,
during your potential
Before.
I'm
phase.
talking about then, back before. I didn't hit no woman.
But you
I ain't.
made her do something she
They
didn't
don't
want to
mean
do.
they don't mean
You
because you didn't hit
volunteered
the
her
woman
into
that
a
they make you
situation
ain't
where
shit.
she thought she was the only woman and she
I
wasn't.
mean, I'm cheating is
So
cheating. I
so
don't have no
so you
problem with cheating.
volunteered her into a situation that she didn't want to be in.
He punching her heart. He
I'm
Yeah, no,
punching her in
watch
the
him.
heart with
Watch
a
him. Watch
stick.
him make excuses now, because
hey,
that's a typical nigga. They always
I'm,
making excuses.
That
cheating,
part.
cheating. That's just a little playing in a little pool.
Oh,
They gotta, cause you gotta go over here. They got a Olympic size pool. They got a pool
And
that
they got long jump ropes and they got short jump rope. Don't mean I need to jump rope with it.
you
Okay?
know.
It
I,
don't.
I'm just testing the water out. I'm just seeing what
Little noodles
Well,
and
then you
long
should have did
noodles.
that and not got in a relationship with her.
Right.
I came back home, but
So and look, so she
I
saw the potential in your dumb ass
I made
and was
sure
like,
that
oh, he got the potential to
no,
be.
she
The
said,
pictures I was doing your business,
look,
honey.
this the thing. She seen that she never had to worry about them bills, even though I
Don't
probably
nobody give a fuck about that.
she
Baby,
did.
we don't forget about bills. We can pay our own bills.
She didn't care about nobody. She know I wasn't no abusive man. She knew okay, he gonna take care of his kids. He love his kids.
Cause she, sweetheart.
Oh, she was
Right,
cheating. She got caught
So yeah,
cheating.
let's talk about it. She was
right,
she don't give a damn
absolutely.
about what you doing because
Because
she
a
already
woman
done
that is
done it.
okay with that shit, she got to
Right,
do
well
her
she
own
okay with
thing.
that. It's
No, she
because
Show you out
Jody
the
beating her
fucking
back
way.
out already.
she wasn't okay with it. She definitely wasn't okay with it. Hold on, y'all. These damn Amber alerts going off on my phone.
Who's
Who
gonna
told who
keep out
being
here with
them?
leaking sex? Who's still a kid with the inflation prices going on?
Right.
They,
Gas prices is
she was not cool with the cheating. She definitely was not cool with it. But you know, you just
Okay.
hey, as a mind
Okay.
faithful. I wasn't, but she will tell you still to this day. She ain't never had to worry about anything else. If anything, she'll tell you he gonna cheat. He always had multiple women.
Men can't be faithful, but expect faithfulness. It'd be crazy for me. It's crazy for me. You guys wanna y'all be wanting to go dip in different
So
little ponds and rivers and things, but still want your play. You
so there
still
was
want your phone call answer on the first ring and can. Y'all are a mess.
so
I,
there
A
was this
mess.
there was this Facebook post that I came across a few days ago, and it was talking about how what does it mean for a man to cheat respectfully.
Let's
I
time
mean,
And
out real
so
quick. Let's quick.
a man is cheating.
I
and
know you
so
gotta go to work.
I mean, you making sure that at the end of the day you're using protection.
uh-huh,
You being respectful. You not
I agree.
when you come home, you cutting your phone
You
off.
ain't sloppy.
No,
You're not
no.
sloppy.
I'm telling you,
Right, there you go, Jamaica. Say it again.
See, you're
When
not sloppy. Let me tell you
right.
something about it. If you
So
gonna
so
cheat, you can't be sloppy, baby. If
that
you gonna
side bitch
cheat,
should
nobody's supposed to know that
never.
you cheated.
I agree. I agree.
And see, that's where men get messed up. Y'all
Right.
sloppy, you get
Most
messed up.
men,
Right.
You
most
leave
Right.
your mess in your
They
phone,
so
and you
scared to tell the side bitch that they the side bitch.
men, now
And
most
right
they're scared to
most
tell them that they have somebody at home, and you can't fuck up what I got at home.
at
So
home.
you down or
Cause
you
you know
ain't
she
down.
gonna come knock on the door.
most
Right.
most men, but now you got a lot of men out here that will now. It's a lot of men out here that
I
will.
mean, let me tell you, I've never met anybody like that other than when I was in Atlanta. When I was in Atlanta, most of the men there were straight up and honest about whatever the fuck they had going on. If they ain't had nothing going on,
Exactly.
you could bank on the fact that they ain't had nothing going on. But if they did, 9 times out of 10, they gonna tell you, I got this at home. I had a homegirl. She was dating this guy. But he had a whole wife. I don't agree with it. But he
You
told
see
her,
what just
you're not
happened on the
gonna fuck
news,
up what
right?
I got at home. You don't knock at my door. Don't call me at this time of the night. Blase
Exactly.
blase.
It's rules
But
to this game.
but men here, men that down here, man, they don't give a fuck about that. They don't know
Baby,
how to cheat
you
and getting
seen them,
fucking
you
caught
seen on
all
the
the
news.
time.
It goes to the. I guess it can go to the area that you in or the type of men you choosing to deal with.
It's what you
That's true.
accept. See, we all teach people how to treat us.
Yeah.
See, that's the conversation a lot of people don't want to talk about. When a man is mistreating you because you've already taught him how to mistreat you.
Okay. Oh,
When a
okay. So
woman that cheated
hold on.
on you
Hold
or
on. When you say
cheating
that,
on you
like that, so you saying that it's cool? That's why these women putting up with this dumb shit that I'm talking. How this woman riding with this.
because he knows it's perfectly okay, she's not gonna go nowhere.
Well,
All I do is
and that's
claim
what it
it,
is. It's not
and
that she
that's what
told him. It's just that she assured him that she's not going anywhere.
that she
That is
because
the thing.
she didn't already called messages in the phone she didn't leave. So
Right.
now you know not to leave messages in the phone. See, when you catch a man or woman cheating, all you gotta do is teach them how to cheat better. Because see,
Right.
if you catch it in the phone, you know you're gonna get him another one and keep
Hmm.
that one clear. If you catch all you do is treat people how to treat you. Well, it's you teach them how to treat you. I mean,
So, and I can
if
agree
I
with that.
know
I'm
if he
I'm
know that
guilty of
you
that. I'm
right, if
guilty of
he know
that.
that you a lonely woman and all you gotta do is be gone for a couple of days, you gonna come looking for that call that you ain't called. He done cheated on you, but you missed him 3 4 days after he gone. What the you
Oh
know?
no, I ain't never gone through
So
that, but
a lot of women
3 days.
fall victim to their own ignorance.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of women deal with men who ain't because they also had men that weren't shit around.
Well, I can't say that. Like
Okay, you can
Not all
the
women.
men
I'm just
around,
saying, not
say
all men. I'm just
it.
saying, but
yeah, because the men
Men
around
don't
me
supposed to
were
take a
very
stand though.
solid, and that's what I looked for
and that's why you
in
saw
the
it now,
men.
right?
No, I'm saying like the men that was around me were solid. Like my
Okay,
grandfather, my uncles, my dad, that's my
right.
best friend, and that's what I look for in the
Hey,
men
they
I
cheated too.
choose.
That
But
part. That's what I'm saying. That part.
but
They cheated too. They
but
cheated.
they obviously they cheated respectfully because it never knocked on the
They,
door.
they, they treated respectfully. You
So
see, go ahead. Listen,
So,
this is my
so that's what
thing.
I'm saying to you. Like, if you want your healthy relationship, if you feel like that's something that you have to have, at least don't allow it to, because your job is to protect your woman.
I
That's
agree with
not
that.
Is
only
it
physically,
I
but
agree with
that's
that.
not
emotionally,
have my hair looking
spiritually,
crazy?
mentally. Right. Don't have her out here looking like
Don't
a
have me out here
fool.
looking crazy.
And then don't have the balls to protect her in the
And then
midst
you,
of your
oh
drama, the
Lord.
chaos. But yet your expectation is for her to be your piece or to add to your piece when you done brought chaos into the
You-
relationship.
I can agree with that. I
Like
can agree
that's
with that.
So you
bullshit.
can't. That's what, and that's what she said. Exactly. What's
I
what?
agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Don't
So
don't
that's exactly. So you gotta watch. You gotta
get
watch. Like I said, you gotta watch
because
how people treat you
Right.
based
And
off
I
what you
like I said,
accept from them.
Jamaica, I'm guilty of that. And like in my last relationship, I left, but I always took them back. I always took them
And
back.
then I done it before too. But I got to a point, Queen, where I chose me over you. Because
Absolutely.
Timothy, even in the alphabet,
how
and
long
I
did it
said,
take to get to that point then? How long? A
I,
year? 2 years? 5?
it took me,
10
it
years?
took me a solid year and a half. I'm gonna tell you, I thought I was the one, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, I thought I had it going. He my man, my man, my man. Okay, yeah. Okay. He was they man, our man, and we man. So I had to realize the difference between what is it that I want, and
Right.
he
And what
would
you settle
leave,
for.
and I started missing him, and I called baby, and I realized he knew how to get to me. So now when I started when I got to the point where I woke up and said, you know what, this nigga really playing with me, and I've been putting my hands on top of me to go. I realized then that I taught him how to treat me because I didn't leave. See,
Yeah.
had I left him, he would have been taught how not to chill the next one. The next one was gonna leave me if I see you get taught a lesson. But that it took me a year and a half to come to my conscious decision that this man was no good. I woke up and said, I allowed this man to treat. I thought when you start feeling crazy and stupid, you knew that you stayed too long.
So how long did it take for you to try to wake up?
You really put me on blast.
I want to know because
I
I'm trying
was
to figure
with
out why do
I
women
was
doing it?
I was with my ex for 5 years, 5.5 years.
That's about the good right. That's
So
right.
5.5 years, and now from when the relationship started, how long did it take for you to find the first fuck up?
Oh man. Maybe
Woo.
within our
6 months, a
first
year.
the first year, yeah.
So within a year, you
The
found
first year. The first year. It's always the first year. It's
man.
always pieces
So
to pieces.
so and so because it was so early, I was like, I made an excuse for it. I was like, oh well,
That
we
part.
knew, this is new to
Okay,
him. So we'll get through this part, and
Okay, so
then
it early happened early on. You say y'all gonna get through it. How long from when that first one happened
mhm,
to the next one?
mm,
it started doing a roller coaster effect for me.
right, absolutely. So it's like
Cause we just
maybe.
started catching the bullshit. That's what we started catching.
So what? A
mm,
month later, he told you, okay, you caught him. You caught him within that first year. He said,
Nah,
"Oh,
it
sorry."
probably was about a year later. I
Okay.
really
Yeah.
didn't start. I really didn't start. I really
Look at
didn't
it,
start
I'm looking
running
like that.
into things until I moved here. When I moved here, that's when
Oh,
that's
oh,
when
you was.
On this one,
Oh, she was at the headquarters. That see, let the pull the blind time, baby. She was at the headquarters. That's what it was. See,
so.
long as you was at bay, he was easy to lay. You understand me?
Mhm.
When you come in town, he gonna have to, boy, he gonna have to skip around. You understand me? So, see, when I say that, because see, you were able to be able to pull up, pop out.
Yeah, right,
You
and
were
that's and
able to
that's what it
show up
was,
and show out. You see what
right.
I'm saying? Oh yeah, yeah, it be
But
all that down.
but I made because he knew for sure that I was so loyal and I was
Mm-hmm.
faithful and I wasn't
They
fucking
always do.
around. Like he banked on that. He knows that for a fact. You know what I'm
They
saying?
always
And
find the
so
good loyal one and they turn
and
them into a good girl, bad girl.
right. And
Right.
what favored me was that his friends saw how he was treating me and they would tell because they knew that I
You were too
was
good
just
for them.
yeah.
Your friend
And
wanted, the friend really wanted you, but
well,
you got with him.
listen, it would be friends, family
Ooh,
members, like they would tell. People
ooh,
I didn't know would call me,
yeah.
people I went to school with and never had like a friendship with before. Like it was horrible. It was horrible but for him, he because I never left or when I did walk away, it would be, oh, why don't you fight for us or why you giving up on me or.
By the
And
time you walked away, you were already tired. You had already been
mhm.
done.
So so he was confident in knowing that I wasn't going anywhere.
They
So
always say.
it's my
So,
duty
so you telling
now
me
to
what
stay
I'm saying?
solid.
Hold on. What you saying is it's the woman that allows it. Then
What I'm saying is that women allow love and loyalty to keep them stuck. That's what I'm saying.
so still the woman allows it. You allow the man to treat you
It
like
just depends on how you look at it. Because why is it all on the woman? Why does society put all the blame on
you
the
know why.
On the
woman
woman.
and never
I'm gonna tell you why.
place the accountability on the man?
I'm gonna tell you why it's on the woman. Let me tell you why it's on the woman.
Hmm.
If you the one that's getting up, going to work, making the money.
Both of us was
Hold
getting up making the money.
hold on. I'm not saying you per se. I'm just saying in general. If you as the person getting up, making the money, and that means you have the stability, the car's in your name, you're
Hmm.
paying the car insurance, the
Hmm.
apartment is in your name.
Hmm.
You are doing all these. You got all these things that you are doing already solo, and you in a good relationship, but you still choose to stay in that relationship. The reason it's your responsibility to do it because everything is already being done by you. That's the only thing that needs to be done.
You get in the middle without buying the cow. That's what you meant to say. You already
Right.
doing all these things. Playing house, playing wife, being a good. He already know you'll be a faithful good. What they call a fool wife because I'm already fooling. She's my girlfriend, so so they already know what type of person you are and what they can get away with. Because with a woman, they know they can't get away with. They won't play with them truckers. See, a man will play with you as long as you left.
And that's
But
so I put it back on the thought because if you got all that stuff going on, so that's like this. You know you can pay your own rent. You know you can pay your car insurance. The car is already in your name. You're taking care of the kids right here while he's standing next to you and he ain't doing nothing to help you. You already doing it. So how are you psyching yourself out that you can't doing it, that you can't do it when you're already doing it?
doing
But
it.
what about
You
women
still
that don't
choose to stay,
experience?
so it's the woman's fault.
But there are women that don't experience that. There's women that both of them are working and making money and all this
Doing
other
it.
stuff.
Okay, you might have a woman that's okay, he's helping her pay. He's paying the bills. She do need him for the money. I need you to help me pay the rent to keep the water pay
You
on.
know what I'm saying? What about women that are equally that with both parties are equally making money? They're equally
Okay,
paying
if
their
they
own
equally
bills.
making money, then either one, but still, you know why? You know why it's on the woman? Because the woman is the one that mostly complains. So if you complaining
Oh
about
my
something
gosh.
wrong, why don't you correct it? Because obviously it's right for him because he's able to go out and
You
fuck
can't
with
correct them. You can't change
You
no
can't
man.
correct a
Correct
wrong
it.
what I'm
behavior in an
saying.
adult.
If you can't, you're right, you can't make a man change. But if you're complaining about his actions and you don't agree with it, what do you do when you don't agree with something? You
Okay, and if
leave.
I
he
cut
don't
it
like
off
the fact of being corrected, then why don't he change his own fucking ways or not get in a relationship?
You
Again, you put the accountability on a woman,
I'm
but
putting
both
it on the
parties
woman.
play a part in it.
I'm putting it on the
because
woman
we'll
because
give you the opportunity to be men.
the man is staying there because he got it good. Why
He
wouldn't he?
ain't no
No,
man.
we're guilty by allowing you guys to be men to show us first who you are and what you are. So you can't really blame us there because it's like when you meet a woman and you have to like her. You gotta be able to do all these things. You wine and dine. A lot of these men they start off and they don't finish it the same way they start off. You understand what I'm saying? They
Right.
start out with the roses and the candy, and 3 months later, you're having dinner once a week to once a month, and it's going on and trickle on down. So it isn't just about the fact about the women can leave. We want to show you that we're good women, and
I
when we
get that.
typically show y'all that, y'all typically show us that y'all are not worthy of what we have to
Or
give.
not even not worthy, not ready. A lot
Well,
of
I'm
men
not
are
say
not
worried. I'm
ready
gonna say it.
for
You ain't worried
relationships.
about my love.
Okay, if
We're
they
gonna
not,
fool
let's say
you.
either way, if they not worthy or if they not ready. But if you
Right.
still giving it to me, why would I leave?
Because here's
What
the deal,
makes
like
sense for me to
again,
leave?
like
You're
so
the one
what is
that's
the
complaining. You're complaining. I'm not complaining. You're mad because you saying I went out and cheated on another girl, and I'm like, baby, I did. Cool. What you want to what you cooking me for dinner tonight? You go in there and cook it. Why am I gonna leave? I have
You
everything.
should be scared to eat that. But okay. But okay, I'm not
Cause
even
I'm
do
gonna make a mean sweet potato pie, baby. I'm making Medea sweet potato pie.
hey,
That's what I'm
what's
cooking
that
for dinner.
smell? You feel me? Reggie got a pot of ass boiling on the pot.
Oh shit!
Listen, true story.
That
True story.
real
Long
story,
time
real
ago.
spill.
I mean,
Long time
it
ago,
was
we
in a
had this
movie.
man
They
who was
had a
cheating
lady
on
that
his
shit in
wife
the
and was
pot.
beating her. Look,
Yes.
this man was beating his wife, cheating on her and everything. And one day he did the same. He did exactly what you said. She caught him at the Walmart. He had ran up her card or whatever. She hit him in the Walmart. She came home. She started cleaning up. And he came in and was like, "What you cooking me for dinner?" She said, I got this pot boiling on the stove now. I'm about to make your dinner."
Uh-huh.
Baby.
Baby.
He hit her and she went to that stove. She
And,
poured
and,
that
and,
water
and,
on.
and, and
She
gave him
poured that
ab
boiling water
ring.
on him. And listen, the boiling water had bleach in it, baby. Rick Morgan had stayed in before the police got there.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Baby.
Listen. Hey.
I'm
See,
not.
you got,
I'm not mad at the fact she protected herself on that. I'm not mad. He beating on her. I'm not mad on nothing like that. But I'm just saying.
but men like to play those types of mind games and then don't want the funky prize that comes with it. See, if you you not treating this woman right, why sit there and play with a woman? Because mentally you go, well, she let me do it, but still, is it right to do it?
Well,
Is it right to do it? No, it's not.
I mean, is it wrong? Like when it comes to cheating, now that's that man's body. So
why cheat?
No, that's not. So
that's his body. That's that.
But that's her body too.
That is her body.
That is her body too.
Well, you're right.
So if you go out and you lay down with somebody else, and then you come back and lay down with me in the same manner,
I agree with that.
Exactly. You got to give me the opportunity. You didn't give me the opportunity to say, well, you know what? I don't care if you cheat.
Right.
You got some
don't
women.
Volunteer
You,
me
got,
into
you,
it.
you haven't opened the door for opportunity. You never said, well, you know what? Well, in this relationship, well, let's have an open relationship. We're gonna have this type of. Why get in a relationship
he don't want
just
nobody
to
have
cheat?
your pussy. He just wants to go and clean dick all
right, that part right there. So why get in a relationship just to cheat? Just don't get in a relationship.
That's my thing.
I get it. I can agree with that on that. I do.
Yeah.
But you live by that, man. You don't want a relationship. You tell women, I don't want a relationship.
I tell in the beginning though.
But that's how men should approach situations. Period.
I agree. You're right. A man should be honest with a woman.
Don't volunteer me and say, I want to be committed. I want this relationship, and then have the audacity to allow women to allow you to have a relationship with not only them but their children and
everything else.
When you come around and you fuck it off and you're not ready for what you think you're ready for.
Look, he at Walmart right from the side key.
Because get this, what happens is not only does how we were talking earlier about how mothers have to rearrange their lifestyles for their children. If I'm giving you time. Lifestyle, huh?
Your phone had froze. You said if you what now?
I said if I rearrange my lifestyle, I have to rearrange my lifestyle for you too. And if I'm spending time with you, then I'm taking time away from my kids.
Right.
So if I'm making those sacrifices, I'm not making those sacrifices for my health. I'm making those sacrifices because I feel like this is what you say you want, so we're gonna go somewhere.
This is what you said you are. This is what you said you're about. So the thing is, that's just like me saying to you, saying, "Hey, you know what, Reggie? I like you. And I'm a woman, and I'm coming straight and I tell you, and I'm gonna cheat on you. Okay, I just want to let you know I like you, but I'm gonna cheat on you. You have the option.
Man,
say, I don't want to do this. Okay, well we'll cheat together. See, men want what they can't handle. Okay.
I would like.
So you want to be able to cheat, but don't want to get cheated on.
I would like.
Right.
Okay. Baby, listen. And then here's the real game. When women hurt men, y'all don't feel the effects about a year later. When you sit in that room in the rain outside, and all the good core memory come back in your mind, and you say, you know what, dog, I had me a doggone good woman. Now you want to go hit them with the YD, the WYD. What you doing?
Hey, I get it on the line part. I'm not disagreeing with you on that online because I do tell the woman the truth. That's what I do.
Up front, just be honest up front and save you time.
I agree with that. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
Because you can't say if I told you I'm cheating, you can't say, well he did tell me that he was gonna cheat on me. So I know what to expect. But when you go and sneakily and do it, what happens is you take the ability for me to make a choice for myself and you handle that for me. So
Yeah.
I don't need you to speak for me. I can speak for myself. Well, no, baby, I don't want you cheating with no woman. I can't be with a man. I can have the opportunity to leave.
No. That is 1,000%. I agree with you.
And then you just can't pick up and move. Some folks just can't pick up and walk out the door just like that. You got to take 30 days for eviction. You got to pack up everything and move everything. So some women move a little slower than others. We'll just say that. But it's some that move like me to call me grease lightning because baby, the first sign of anything foolery, I'm gone.
No, I agree with you on that. And then Grizzly said he about to join in, but we about to get ready. He's coming in on
Yeah, let him speak up because we figure about I gotta go walk my feet.
Yeah, we
You
about to,
don't walk up fish. You so silly.
yeah, he coming in on the end. We're actually on the topic is this. I get what y'all ladies said. There's some great points. I totally agree with y'all on that. Give a person, let me know what I'm dealing with. Don't volunteer me into a situation and tell me that you only want to be with me. And then
Give me honesty.
once we are
That's
together,
the best policy.
I can agree with that. But here's the thing about it. What I still don't get is this one thing you said. The question was, why don't the man leave? It ain't the question of why don't the man leave. It's why the woman. Matter of fact, let me give this quick scenario. I think this happened. I'll send y'all the link. Y'all can watch it. It was in Chicago or Detroit or one of these cities. A man, he had a daughter with this girl, and he had told the girl to leave. Told her to leave. He even called the police and asked the police to tell her to leave. And the police came to the house, and the police said, man, I don't want no problems or nothing. I just want her to leave. Go ahead and leave. I don't want no problems. She said, no, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying.
Mm-hmm.
The police
now becomes a civil matter because she got to you got to look at the fact that she still has civil rights. The police can't make her move, can't make him move. Y'all have to go to a judge and let a judge decide what is fair and what is right. See, people tend to think that officers are judges. Officers don't care nothing about none of that. You have your dead
They
point.
are exactly what they say they are. Law enforcement. They enforce
Yeah.
the law.
Hold on, though.
Yeah, I understand. They think right then and there that they're the judge, but some situations law enforcement have to take to a judge, and he has to make that decision or that ruling. It's something like when it comes with children and family.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, man.
Hello. Sometimes you got to use common sense. Just because law says something doesn't mean that's what you need to stick to. So the guy had already told the police and everybody that, hey, it's gonna be a problem if she stays. Just I'm asking her, y'all to get on and leave. Y'all right. Legally, they can't make her leave because she's getting mail there. And her name is
they don't have enough time to decide who is right and who is wrong.
She has to be evicted. She has to go through an eviction process.
The due process of the law.
Okay, so now here's the thing. Would it have been smarter for her to just leave like the police asked her to?
And where was she gonna go?
Right.
Why couldn't he leave?
She could have slept in the car.
Why would she have to sleep? Why he couldn't
sleep in the car?
That's his house.
How is that his house?
How we know that?
Dwelling there together.
That's his house though.
They both
dwelling is a dwelling too hard.
Hold on though. Let me tell you. She could have left and packed her bags up.
And he could have done the same thing.
Exactly.
And her
until she got everything.
Her daughter could have slept in the car.
Her and her daughter.
Why would a child sleep in the car?
Do you see how biased that is?
You are insane at this point.
I gotta listen. Her and her daughter could have left and slept in the car. These are options. They could have slept at a friend.
And why does she have to have the options and not?
Why do you have to uproot the child?
Listen. Let me tell you. These are options. They could have stayed at a friend's house. They could have stayed at They could have stayed at their mama house. They had options.
You're still talking about they.
What about him?
Okay.
As a man,
hold on.
From what I was told,
I seen y'all the video. Y'all gonna watch the police.
I'm gonna watch it.
The police is their job to tell somebody to separate.
The police said leave. The man has already told them if she stays, it's gonna be a problem.
And right then and there, when he threatened her,
he should have been locked up.
They should have arrested him, or they should have made him leave.
Oh, and we going by the law. He didn't threaten her. He just said it's going.
No, that is a threat.
That's an intimidating threat.
A problem could be we're gonna get into another argument.
That is assault by threat, and he should have been arrested.
That's not.
He should have been arrested.
Tell me that, Reggie, and this is my job.
A problem is doesn't mean he can do physical harm or anything. It doesn't.
It says a problem. What is a
A
problem?
problem being problematic means the issue is not safe.
If he says it's gonna be problematic, that's a threat.
That means that's a threat, Reggie.
If she's staying, then we're gonna have a problem. So
okay, and then
well, if
they
he
should say,
said,
okay,
well, he
should separate.
Okay.
Well, he should be the aggressor. Should be the one that separates. Even though that's his house.
He wasn't an aggressor. He called the police to act.
It don't matter that he called the police.
But we don't know that.
How many times do aggressors call the police?
And act like they're the victim.
He was trying to avoid the situation and wanted her.
Well, you just get in your car as a man.
If he was trying to avoid it, then he should have left.
You get in your car. He gets in his car.
Adamant about she was not leaving. She said she was not leaving.
And so
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
Okay.
I wouldn't either.
So now I say you wouldn't leave. You
no, I'm not leaving. Not because I don't want to, but if I want to, I can leave. A girl come pick me up with her. But when I return, I'll be able to have access to be able to get inside the house.
Okay, so now
I don't need to come back to a lock change and no craziness like that because as a grown adult man, this is where you take responsibility.
Hold on. Let me put this into it. He had already went in the room. He didn't say no words. He just had already went in the room and pulled his gun out too. He ain't saying that.
Okay, that's a threat. There's a child in the house.
I can legally have a gun.
You can legally have a
once
gun.
you pull that gun,
but once you pull that gun, a threat in motion.
He didn't threaten.
And she can easily say
the police could not arrest him for going in his room.
But that's fine. And I can say, you know what? I feel my safety of my life. Boom.
My gun. If I'm a legal gun owner, a legal gun owner can go get his gun. That legal gun owner,
as long as he's not using an intimidating method.
So wait a minute.
All he did was when he got his gun. His gun is right here by him.
Okay, so guess what?
We get
out.
Is she a
when
threat
he made
now?
that threat?
Mentally, he's messing with her mentally.
No, when he first made that threat to say it's a problem, and then he went to his room and he got in his gun.
And retrieve a gun? He is the threat.
At that point,
the gun was, he already got his gun down when he telling them it's going to be a problem. He ain't say what.
Ain't no way because if he had it on his person.
Ain't no way he's going to jail.
No, it's not because I had it. When I was 18 years old, I went.
This is 18. This is the laws are not the same.
Laws have changed. Laws have changed.
The law is not the same from when you were 18 years old.
A person can have their gun. Yes, they.
The law is not the same from when you were 18 years old.
You even still to the day, a person can legally have their gun
depending on where you are.
And what state and what jurisdiction?
You gonna tell me?
You can legally have your weapon on you as long as you're not pointing your gun at
depending on where you are.
Like
where you are.
New York, you're right. New York, no, you can't. Their gun laws are strict.
A lot of people gun laws are different.
Okay, but different gun laws. But
you come from Mississippi where they ain't had no goddamn gun laws. Everybody could have carried a damn gun.
You're right.
Everybody shoot.
You're right. But what I'm saying is the gun laws. When I send y'all the video so y'all can watch it. Y'all, it's a couple of videos out.
Make sure the gun law for all 50 states.
So let me tell you this: when people call in and they're in a domestic or whatever, and they're talking about, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. And they're talking about, they're in a domestic or active domestic, and the guy and it says that the guy has his gun on him. We tell them to put their gun away because guess what? That could have been even worse, and the officer could have just
thrown a
weapon on him.
I get you right. That could have been worse because then they could have came. You're right, but
that's seen as being aggressive. Like
it's being aggressive because you're causing a problem that shouldn't be one. If he goes in this room, if she's not causing a life threat and he's not in fear of his life, that's right. There's a child in the home. They could get him for child cruelty. If he wants to make any type of motion or raise his voice. Or even raise his voice around that child because we see the child cruelty. He can have his gun on his side all day.
But listen though, okay, you're right. Just like we were talking earlier though, talking about teaching our kids to shoot. So just because a child in the house, we were just talking about teaching kids to shoot.
It don't matter.
But that wasn't the case. That's not the case of this scenario.
You can't flip it around when there's a child in the house.
No, that's not. But you're teaching a
child different case, different scenario.
Wait a minute. You're teaching a child gun safety so that they won't be curious enough about the gun. Wait a minute.
To pick up a gun.
Still a child in the house with a gun.
Let me finish.
Same thing.
You teach a child gun safety, Reginald, so that they will not be curious
enough to pick up the gun.
I get that. I don't disagree with that.
Because you're still trying to correlate. So let me finish.
I agree with that. I'm trying to tell you.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
When you teach a child gun safety, you're teaching that child gun safety so they won't be curious enough to pick that gun up and shoot themselves
and then
or somebody
misfire
else
or
mistakenly.
somebody else.
Okay.
You are taking them to the gun range so that they can properly learn how to shoot for protection.
Okay.
But when that child is in a home with an aggressive parent
That
who
child's not
pulls
safe
a gun, that at that point becomes criminal.
because you're willing to inflict harm in a situation
Absolutely.
that doesn't require you to. If you're so upset when you have to go get a gun, why is it? It doesn't demasculate you to get in your freaking
Mississippi would
car.
have locked him up for even when he made that threat. An
Intimidation.
assault. No, it would have been an
Oh,
assault. It would have been assault by a verbal assault in a dwelling of a
of an
family dwelling
occupied
or something
dwelling.
like that.
Yeah. But again, Queen, when you think about it, when you say you self-control, if my husband is mad or angry, I know, okay, well, you know what? To de-escalate, I'll go this way and I won't say anything. But because you want somebody to go and you just feel like because it's your house, there's laws you got, there's a
I just feel
process
like
you have
it's a
to take.
bitch move, man. I feel like it's a
It's a
bitch
whole
move.
move.
When shit
You
don't go your way,
intimidated
that's
by
what
a
men have
child and a
resorted to
woman and you
now.
got a gun?
Men are
That's
acting like
pussy.
bitches. Like they acting
That's
like
pussy,
straight
bro.
bitches.
That's pussy, bro.
Okay.
It's
That's
crazy.
pussy.
Hold on, y'all. I'm not disagreeing with y'all. I don't disagree with y'all. That is a bitch move for a man to go get his gun and want to shoot a woman and all this and do that. I get you.
So your hands can do more damage.
But this is what I'm saying. If the man asks you to leave,
Why
why
couldn't
not
he
leave?
leave? Why couldn't he leave?
Why can't he leave?
Why not just leave? If you see he done did all
So
these,
she's supposed to do whatever he say do because this is a
it ain't about
patriarchal
him no
world.
more. It's about
You
her and
still
her
put the
child.
accountability on the woman, but yet you forget that he's a man.
It's about her. It doesn't matter about the man. It'll matter about your safety. Leave.
Right.
If this man is already showing you he doing stupid.
When he pulled that
And I
gun, she
get
had
that.
every right. When he pulled that gun, she had every right to blow his head off, and I wish
And
she
blow
would
it off.
Why would you just go? If you got the option to just get in your car and avoid a situation,
I understand. I get it. De-escalate.
leave. Don't try to go back and forth and say, no, I ain't going nowhere because I don't have to. The law says I don't have to go nowhere. The law says I can stay here.
And she never said anything about the law.
She said, when I seen the video, the police, she told him she wasn't going nowhere.
Right. Because
She has
she
a right.
fucking
That's
lives
a
there,
civil
Reggie.
right. She has a right. She has a right. That's not a right.
So it's okay for you to put me out of my place.
Put no child in danger. You got a right to do a lot of things, but that don't
But
mean
she got a right.
This is such a
We get where you
one-sided
coming from.
world.
No, it's not, Jai. It's saying
such a one-sided world. This shit is crazy to me.
Just because you had a right, that doesn't mean you should do
that.
that.
It's not so much of a fucking right. The bitch lives there, Reggie, just like he lived there.
The right and the safety is
she lives there just like he lives there.
Jai.
And she has a fucking kid.
Jai.
So you want me
go to your homeboy house and get on the couch and allow her to leave.
Or possibly having to go somewhere else. I don't have no place to go. So now me and my kids sleeping in a fucking car.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
While you in a house, you ain't got love for the woman or the child.
That women and take their cars and take their kids and man, please. So I'm supposed to just be okay because you said so?
Because you mad. I got to leave the house, go sleep in the car with a kid.
You are a single person. You could have left and kept me in the house. And if you wanted me out and the house,
give me a certain day and a certain time, like
notice,
like Blueface did. Like Blueface did. Christian Raw. He went to his baby mama. He said, "Hey, you got your money now. You got yourself together now. I'm giving you X, Y, Z days to move out."
Hold on, I just added L Bridget to the screen. Hey,
you late, bro?
Yeah, you late. You about to get out of here,
bro. What's going on?
You catching the end of it, man. Hey, we can. So I'm gonna try to
one of them days, man.
Hey, I feel you.
What's up, L?
Just a little.
You late like Reggie, man.
But he late like a period. He late like a period, y'all. Big baby. You feel me?
Hey,
9 months.
I'm gonna bring you up to speed right quick about what we
are.
Huh?
Okay, let's talk. I'm with it.
All right. So here's what we got going on. What we talking about?
Bring me up to speed.
Have you seen the video about the lady? I think it was Chicago. I'm looking for the clip now. But the lady, she was in Chicago, Detroit, one of these states, and her boyfriend got into it, and when they got into the argument, the police was called, and the police had asked her, well, the boyfriend had told her to leave. He told her he wanted her and her daughter to leave, and so then they caught
her and their daughter, the daughter that
Their
they
daughter.
her and their daughter to leave. So the police was called, and he wanted to go, but she didn't want to leave. She wanted to stay. She said she wasn't gonna leave, which she did have the right not to leave. She did have the right to leave. He could have left too, and left her with the place. He had that option too. There was an option, but he wanted her to leave.
Now he want to say that's an option, right? Because he got back.
Yeah.
No.
She didn't have no damn
bring it back.
option.
Hold on. But I think
No, whatever. You got backup now. You want to
That wasn't the dialogue. That's not what you said.
I said that she should have just left. I said the lady and her daughter should have got in the car and they should have left. It'd be that the option could have been they like where she was going. She could have
De-escalated.
slept in her car. She could have went to a friend's house. She could have went to her mama.
But what if she ain't had no friend? What if she went from there?
Well, she had no car. Well, she went from there.
She could have went to the church. She could
What
have walked.
fucking church we got the doors open now? We in dang on 2023.
All I'm doing
The
is
doors
giving you
are not always open in the church, son.
And I'm running from the pastor guy. He's like, little girl, so what the world?
I'm just saying she had options that she could have left, and she could have gotten in the car when the dude told her to leave.
And he could have done the same fucking thing.
But she didn't want to leave. She wanted to stick her chest out and say, she should have left, right? Don't you think that? That's more important for her to leave.
But as a man, if she has a small child, as a man,
you chalk that shit up. Chalk it up. So you know what?
As a man,
I'm gonna do what a man gonna do. I'm gonna find me a hotel. I'm gonna give you a couple days.
Hold on, one person, one person at a time. Hold on.
As a man, you could have left. You're a single person versus a mother and a young child. Nowadays, we know that mothers and young children are targeted more than a grown man is. A grown man could have walked away. He could have left out the house if it was too heat in that home.
Mothers and let's rewind
say that again.
You said
what you
mothers
saying?
and kids. You said mothers and kids are targeted than men.
Yes.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I know. I hear it all the time. I've been doing.
Are you speaking of like? And I want to
say that again.
Are you speaking of this being endangerment or somebody who's gullible? Are you speaking of someone who's like gullible, who can be in a situation easily where someone can like
endangerment. Like I've had so many calls, even when I was in Atlanta.
Okay, I agree.
Working for APD. We have more women and children targeted than we did grown men.
Okay, all right.
And you have to get your firearm.
So my opinion is that as the man, if you feel like it was that heated,
y'all never, so I don't know what state you in. John, how you doing? What state you in?
I'm well.
You are.
So I recently was.
You just.
No, shut up. No, what I'm saying. So I recently
on the daily basis. I know what's happening with you.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? That's why nobody can hold
wait a minute.
That raggedy ass on camera.
Right, he used an Android, girl.
That's what it is. The Android.
It's an Android. He probably got a Samsung.
You got that church phone. You got that church phone. I shot his church. Baby.
Yeah, he got one of them sidekicks.
I'm an Android guy.
No, but seriously, seriously.
When we did this type of line, did the best phone.
That's the one top of the line.
Oh.
Send me later.
We can't.
Hey,
we can't.
You hear me?
So listen. Seriously though,
so
I believe.
Man, what they talking about? They ain't been tag team you having, my dog.
Oh no, that's good, man. I trust me. I do this on a daily. I love it, man. We having a great debate.
My
thing is saying this. My thing.
You know what I'm saying?
This my thing. What I'm saying. I get that they saying. I'm saying that the woman should have left. I'm saying the woman and her daughter should have left. They're saying, why did the woman and her daughter have to leave? Why wasn't he being man enough to go ahead and leave and give her the house and he leave? Well, obviously he wasn't a man, so we're gonna take that away. He was a little boy.
Oh, so we make excuses for him.
Oh, so
but we put all accountability on the woman. Fuck that.
I'm putting accountability on if the
That's
person
bullshit. Shush.
He didn't already
Next subject.
The police came and asked
it don't matter. Y'all making excuses for that child.
But if he already showing you mentally,
we're not making excuses. We saying
mentally.
So then it's her responsibility to be the man and the woman.
It's her responsibility to do
that.
Her and her
the
child.
responsibility is on that man. He's a grown ass fucking man.
And he's supposed to be the protector of his daughter, not the enemy of his daughter.
Do what's best for the child. And
what was best for the child was for that child to stay in the home.
Stay in the home. Give me my daughter.
Hold on, let me tell y'all why.
I can't hear what your name is, Grisby. I can't hear him. Next big rider. I can't hear him. Next big rider. What did he say?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, LG.
Let that man talk. He was trying to make a point.
No. You was talking. Go ahead. Okay. Let's give you your space.
I agree with that. Now, man is always protective of his child no matter what, right?
Say that again.
Y'all don't hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
No.
Hold on, let me make sure my volume all the way up because I'm loud too. Y'all hear me?
Huh?
Can y'all hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Y'all hear me good? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you on that. A man is
he might well work for Sprint. Okay.
No matter what, I don't play by mine. I got a 3-year-old daughter. I don't play no games about my daughter. You dig what I'm saying? People know me. They know I ain't about no plan or none of that. A man is always the protector and the provider. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to his family. So number one, of course, I agree with you. But I came in at the end of you guys' conversation. What really happened? Now, I know y'all told me, but what was the turning point where they had to leave?
This is the turning. Okay, they got into it, and the police came to the house. The police asked her, "Ma'am, get your things. You and your daughter just go ahead and leave." She said she wasn't going nowhere. The boyfriend was already showed that, hey, he said I already said it's gonna be a problem. And he just wanted her to leave. He asked her to leave, but she wasn't leaving because that's her house. She had a right to stay in the house. Well, that decision that she chose to make was a fatal decision because hours after the police left, they was called back only to find that she had been shot in the head and the daughter had been shot in the head.
See?
Well, he was already had murder thoughts anyway. Probably that's premeditated. If he got the gun.
But she had the opportunity.
No,
and he did too.
He
did too.
Because guess what?
Hold on,
let me tell you something.
Why didn't she just leave?
Let me say this. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Let me hear this.
That's insane.
Because since he had that man wanted to kill them.
Okay, Jack, you going in and out, Jack. I can't hear you.
You can hear me? Fuck you.
You said
that man that's what he wanted to do anyway. So whether it was that day that she was in that home or whether it was the next day, he was going to kill them.
He's going to kill them regardless.
Now y'all making excuses.
No, I'm telling you, that's what. Listen,
hold on.
This man wanted
to get one in.
Let me speak my piece.
Let me ask you this. Put yourself in that position.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me give y'all this scenario. We had a call the other day. Where did I work? What's today, y'all? Sunday?
Yes.
You gonna kill your child just because you mad with the mama? Unacceptable. It ain't no type of nothing to make me shoot my child in the head because I'm mad because the mama don't want to leave. That's bullshit.
People do that all the time.
But we see, but once again, like you just said, we see this starting to be a pattern. I was actually just talking about this recently. It's starting to be a thing where these dudes go crazy, you know what I'm saying, and kill the woman, kill the child. It's like we starting to see this like on a regular basis. You dig what I'm saying? So when it comes to what it is, these men, they are not men. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how. I'm gonna say these little boys are not men. They don't actually accept the pain of a woman leaving them because they might be so in love with the woman.
Exactly.
There's some guys who have all the money in the world, they might have all the riches, and they still go crazy over this one woman that completes them. And Lou, they might, but see, this is what I tell people all the time. There's no woman that'll ever make me harm myself,
Go
harm
off like
others,
that.
my children, definitely not my children. You know what I'm saying? Like I think, yeah, most definitely, like people, we have to like a lot of people, they always, but like I said, a lot of people, you don't know what people are going through. A lot of people have a whole lot of issues that we don't know about. You ever heard the term when they say make sure you be kind to a person on a daily basis because you don't know what that person is going through? You know what I'm saying? Because people are going through things on a daily basis. So, but like I said, but I have to agree with Mailman, if the police came in the beginning and they had the opportunity to leave, you know what I'm saying? The police don't, think about this, the police don't really know how this man is. He might have a record, he might have all this, but he don't know nothing. They don't know nothing.
Oh, they ran that background. Oh, they ran it. The thing is, for me, LB,
No,
I also get what he's saying.
That's not what I'm saying. Not the background. They don't know the actual person. So if you don't know this person's body or what this person is, then it's best to leave in it. It don't matter if this person did a million things on their record. That ain't got nothing. It don't matter how long his sheet is.
Right.
You still doesn't know. You don't know what this person is capable. You don't know what the woman or the man is capable.
You don't know their mind capability
of temperament. So if I'm in a situation like that,
me as a grown man,
she should have left in the beginning.
Exactly, because me as a grown man, if I give y'all a perfect example last night.
But you didn't explain that in the beginning that they was killed. It's been different scenarios.
But it was leading up to it. I had to lead up to it to tell
lead up to what? What happened?
About that they was killed because she should have left the house.
Y'all listen. Men
nobody
deserves to be all the killed. Time. Have y'all been watching the news?
What?
There was in Alabama. There was a father who took his daughter from her mother, sent a message and told the mom that he was going to take care of the little baby. He was going to kill her. She told the judge. She did an emergency hearing. The judge did not adhere to it. They gave the baby to the dad anyway. That man changed his daughter. He changed his daughter's car seat from door to door in the back seat. Set the car on fire and got out. He changed it so nobody could open the door and save the little girl.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
And she died.
I agree with you on that, John. I'm saying we're not disagreeing with that situation. I'm not saying that
he was going to kill them regardless, Reggie.
No, we're going into different things.
My point is that he was going to kill her regardless.
You don't know that, John.
Okay.
And that we're talking about that particular moment. At that moment, she could have left. And that would even
by the time they talked to the police and everything had de-escalated in, he was gonna kill her anyway.
He was already calm. He wasn't that angry that long.
As a parent, if a person threatened me and my child,
that's his fucking child. As a parent, he didn't have no remorse. He killed the baby too.
We know that, but if I can protect him and say, you know what, I'm gonna get away from this crazy.
I'm gonna let you have that.
Baby, pack your stuff up. Come on. Yeah, we know we can stay.
I agree. I understand what you're saying.
What she should have done was gotten him before he got hurt.
And why get somebody who can just leave? I don't have to get you. I just want to walk away and leave.
Because that nigga was gonna kill her anyway.
But see, that's the thing with people. Everybody want to get somebody. I'm gonna get you.
That's what it is. A dog eat dog world out here. What the fuck you mean?
But if you're very true. You train, right? You went to an academy and all that, right? You were trained, right?
So I can't hear you, honey. Say that again.
What was your detective? What was your rank? Like you were actually.
I can't hear you, honey.
No, he was asking.
What is your position in law enforcement?
So right now I'm just a dispatcher.
What is your actual
position? I don't do the street. I can't do the road because I can't do dead kids.
She's a 911
dispatcher. What was that?
I'm a 911 dispatcher presently. I'm also a dispatcher. So I started off on the road, but I can't do dead kids. So I be out there on the scene crying with everybody else. So that ain't right.
That's how it was. These two kids got killed right here, baby. It was just a lot going on that day.
I can't do dead children. But did I graduate the police academy and learn the laws with all the other officers? Yes. How?
You hate your life, man. You hate your life. Whoever the dude is. Gotta hate on my live, man. Somebody. Hey, man, go get your life, man. I love you though, brother. You hate your life, but I love you.
Okay, that part, and let him have it.
Yeah.
But like I said, we get where you coming from, man. When it comes down to, I had to do that. It's called fight or flight. You take your kids to safety, regardless. Sometimes you can't let your ego get the best of you.
Oh, y'all gonna have me late for work.
You can't let your ego get the best of you. And like you said, when it comes down to it, and not knowing that he killed him later, it makes the people get the skin and perspective on it. Now you acting aggressive. I get that. You can keep the house, have that, but I'm gonna make sure my kid is okay at the same time. But at that point, he was gonna kill that child. How can you just take your child's life? Is what I'm trying to understand. Regardless if it's the house, a car, money, how do you kill your kid and instead for others to have justification for why I killed her because I told her to leave the house? That is unacceptable.
Yeah, it's no justification for it. It's nothing you can say that justifies it.
No
that part I agree. Nothing that you can
but
say
I understand where you come from too.
But I'm just saying, when I got this option, obviously she knew that.
See, I'm gonna give y'all some real talk.
I would have went on here and took my child and just said,
hold on, let the next big rider talk.
Yep.
Period.
I'm gonna tell y'all what, and I don't. And this is my first time speaking about.
Well, listen,
can
somebody come put a light bulb on my house? I can't see outside.
I have a big friend. Why you went dark? We can't see you, John. You done went blank. Oh, you outside. That's why you are.
Can you see that? I'm going to work. I'm a hard-working woman.
You going to work?
I'm going to work for real.
You finna hit them 911 cameras. What that movie Halle Berry was in, The Call? Y'all seen that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know my man, the one with Halle Berry.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm going to work. What y'all say?
Hey, we got the conclusion of what I was saying.
I was trying to go to the house and help all that now. You see what happened to Halle? She got out at the end though.
No, it was a spider over there, y'all. I had to turn the spider on. Go ahead.
Well, we gonna say with this, the conversation went away from what we was talking about because it was about why do women make these bad choices dating these men, and it went to
because y'all always putting the damn responsibility on the woman.
Y'all take care.
No, it's
hold on.
They absolutely.
I take care of. I can't relate. I take care
my
of my
kids.
kids.
I'm not gonna play with no man. I don't care if he got the taste like the golden race in the period.
Jamaica, the moral of the story is niggas ain't shit. I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing.
Again, Steven, how do you say niggas ain't shit? Niggas saying, baby, Saduka do. Saduka that.
Hey, what I was talking about, I was saying was because I seen a woman and she was riding in the car and she was nursing a baby in her arms, and it was a guy sitting, and this was a newborn hand baby. Looked like the baby was probably about 3 months. So I say anywhere 3 months or less old. And she was nursing, but it was a man right next to her that could have been doing that because it was in the middle of traffic. It was dangerous. And I'm like, women accept this, they accept this no good man, but then they complain about it because they got the no good man.
Okay.
And I say that it's the woman's fault. If you sit here and allow it to happen, that's the woman's fault.
I mean, but there's a lot of things that are playing into that, Reggie. Like we told you, like he could have been abusive.
He could have had a gun to his side, told him to drive, and the baby was crying and annoying him.
But hold on, okay, we picking out all the worst case scenarios. He could have been abusive. He could have had a gun on her. He should have said it. But what if he got down just saying, I ain't gonna do the shit? What if he could have also just been like, shit, you do that. I'm tired. I don't feel like take care of that baby.
It ain't even about that. The thing is, if you don't, when it comes to certain things, it's called common sense complex for me, right? Meaning, if this lady got this baby, possibly we don't know if it's his or hers or whatever. We don't know. We're just gonna say the scenario that it's his. You should be concerned about your child.
Yeah.
and that lets you know that what type of man you have beside you. If you don't say, well, hey, give me my baby, or pull over and as we said, and let you da 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 da. But that's not always the case. Some of these, like I said, and I'm sure she gets out and pump her own gas.
I'm sure she does too. If he did that, I would damn near bet the house.
I'm not pumping no gas.
I bet the house that she do.
I'm a lady. I'm a lady. Yep.
I don't disagree with you at all, and that's my point.
You said you ain't pumping no gas, me.
I ain't pumping no gas. I'm a whole lady.
We can say I'm a lady.
Except
and be like, y'all be wanting to hit and then want to go get the wrong rag too. Get on up out of and make the sale. Go, man.
Hey, I don't think my lady never pump no gas. I don't think she ever took out no trash. Unless I went.
That part. That part. It's that for me. That's all I'm saying. It's giving ain't shit when you sit there. You gotta qualify. You gotta qualify to be not shit. You gotta be voted in the arena. Cause these, like I said, a lot of them take it, but I just ain't wanna. I don't like to take men because I know I ain't gonna take nobody else's shit.
Yeah, I just so the more I'm gonna say this is my moral on the story. Everybody can give their morals. The moral, what I'm saying is this. If you go sit here and you doing all these things already, you showing yourself that you can do it.
What you're capable of.
Exactly. You already see it. You know it. You see that you can pay the bills. You see that you can raise the kids. You see that you can goddamn nurture the kids. You see that you all these things already by yourself that you got that you're doing. We're seeing you doing. You seeing yourself doing it.
Okay.
Why are you accepting the half ass of this man when you can find a better man that will come in and say, you know what, baby? Let me take some of that pressure off you, and I'm gonna help.
First, you gotta have a woman who know her self-worth. You gotta know her self-worth first off. When you know your self-worth, you will not allow the fuckery. I'm sorry, you just will not allow it. When you know who you are, you just not gonna allow it.
But sometimes a man you could stay with a man so long to where you forget.
How you forget when you doing it? You doing it every day.
You lose yourself. It's possible to lose yourself in a relationship.
Yeah,
you don't know that because you ain't been in one in eons.
It was Stone Age for Reg.
How do you lose your job? Okay,
listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a living witness to that.
Hold on, y'all. Let me paint a picture right quick. What you just said. Let me address what you just said. You lose yourself. Let's say you meet a guy in 2020. It's 2023 now, but you met this guy in 2020. And let's say you met him in April of 2020.
Okay.
All right. So when April came, then May, the next month, May of 2020, then you have to pay rent. You pay rent for May, right?
Yeah.
You pay the car note, the car insurance, and all the other bills in May.
Okay.
Okay, now let's say you did that from May 2020 all the way for the next 12 months to May 2021. How the hell did you lose yourself if you pay the bills every month from May 2020 to May 2021?
But you keep
pay the bill so you know what you can do. You took care of the kids in June with that bill. You did all this.
Reginald, you keep focusing. You keep putting a focus on there that doesn't necessarily have to be a factor in every relationship. What? You're speaking on a scenario where this woman pays all the bills, but what about in a scenario where both parties are equally paying the bills? Like, money is not a factor in how you lose yourself in a relationship.
Okay, I addressed that. Okay, I give you that one. So let's say, okay, it's a 50-50 split on the bill pay. Where he's paying this.
I don't even know why the fuck the bills got anything to do with this. Go ahead.
Nah, Jesus, take the bill.
You said the money wise, it might be the factor. So let's go with that. Let's go with that scenario. Okay, so yes, we doing the 50-50.
50-50. What's that?
Yeah. Hey, well, we gonna use that scenario since you say 50-50. So okay, now you got 50-50 of the bills that's going. Still, if you're unhappy and he is a no shit man, you take your 50%.
That goes back to what I said before. Women,
you do whatever. Sometimes you might have to downgrade a little bit. You might have to. You might say, if we live in a house, then okay, I can't live in this big house because I'm not gonna.
No, because if anything, I'm gonna have to do something so that I can continue to keep up my lifestyle.
Okay, look what you just said though. Then you gonna come over the option then and still get with
Right,
him.
but Reginald, we're talking about people losing themselves in a relationship.
How do you lose
You
yourself?
could be far gone in a
being
relationship. Why
happy?
does that seem so
Listen,
unreal to you?
he hitting it. It's some meat out there that will make you forget a whole lot of stuff. I'm
You
just
should
gonna be
never let
honest.
nobody steal your hat. You should never let nobody make you feel like they so important that you gotta under the ground that they walk on.
I'm trying to figure out, baby. Listen,
Like the
Well, I think
we
there's a
try to
lot of
qualify
things
for
that
white
play.
material instantly, and I just.
I think that there's a lot of things that play a factor in that, though. Foundation is always one.
Mm-hmm.
the foundation.
I
What you talking about?
I
What
think
the
that
person?
foundation is a factor. I believe that.
Foundation.
Say that again.
What?
Best be right.
You're right. Foundation is very important. You do need a solid foundation to build on. I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
But not only that, but the foundation of those individual people. That woman's foundation plays a
But listen,
part
what
in
you just said the key word. You just said the key word individual.
Right.
So if we individual, that means I know how to stand on my own two legs.
Not necessarily.
You know,
you don't necessarily know that. That's not
codependent.
That's
you
not
codependent.
what you're born with.
You is because you knew how to do things before you met that person.
Well, I get where you're coming from, but understand it's much for us. It's much more. It's different for women. You guys don't have. You got Mars. Men are for Mars, women for Venus. Two different planets. You understand what I'm saying? It's understandable from where your perspective. Oh, just good believe that you go. That's true. It's just like
women are emotional and nurturers.
We're natural nurturers. We want to fix you.
Absolutely.
Okay, you want to keep on fixing. You want to keep on fixing to know something that ain't gonna never.
No, and eventually you'll get tired, but everybody's tired point isn't the same, Reggie.
I get that.
I said 48 hours. You got 48 hours. You can get on the street. 48 hours. The first, listen, 24 hours. I already know how your body. I already know how. Me and your body. I go off a vibe.
Quiet over there.
I go off a vibe. If I feel like you just look like an old lineman, counselor or something, you just know. You just know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to give you the opportunity to waste my time.
Tell me this: how can you lose yourself in a relationship, ladies? I want y'all to answer this. How do you lose yourself?
By not combing your hair, being depressed.
No. So how do you lose yourself? Yeah. You lose yourself by pouring into someone and you're not being replenished or it's being reciprocated. So eventually you lose you because you're putting all of you in someone else. And then there's no individuality because everything you do is based off of y'all. Does that make sense?
Who made that decision?
That's just a natural decision. Yeah. That's just a natural thing.
But that's a decision that you as a woman made, right?
Not necessarily. That just
oh, come on. Now you just said
that. Nobody decides. No woman decides, oh, today I'm just gonna go and pour into this man and he ain't gonna pour back into me. No, that's not a
It had to be something there to make you want to pour into him, whether he eating the ice, knock the booty cheeks or whatever. It was something that made you want to be that type of woman to that man. So then just like it's just the woman's fault. Oh, you find it was something there. Like a lot of times in a relationship, you start it, but you don't finish the same way you started. Right. You start out with roses. You start out with going on a date every week.
In love with the potential of who
what could be. And then you realize that this thing is a life. Oh, I got. You understand what I'm saying? And it might have he might have been a good life for 2 years. So you catch him in it.
Hey,
and then
say what?
Here's the thing.
I don't even like y'all. I didn't want to come today.
You should never give your all to somebody and not have retained something for yourself.
For yourself. I need receipts for that. So I like to return shit. I'm tired.
Hey, the way I look at life is we all was born into this world by ourselves. When we all came into this world, we came in by ourselves. So no matter what, when you leave this world, you're gonna leave by yourself. But in the midst of that, you're gonna meet
Not necessarily.
you're gonna meet people along your journey. You're gonna meet people throughout your journey of life.
Right.
As you meet people throughout your journey of life, you should have already learned enough to be able to understand that I never give up anything. I never give up 100% of me. I might share me with you and give you a portion of me and invite you into some of the things that I do and that I like and find something about with you. But I will always retain a version of me for me. So
And I think that's a learning curve, and everyone doesn't.
That's a learning curve.
But goddamn, it's 2023, and you got people that's 60 years old still learning.
But it don't matter. Everybody's learning curve is not the same. You can't expect somebody to be where you are. That's just like, now
if you still gonna if you can't see blind as day out of that person is using you, that's
it don't have to be somebody using you. They may not know how to look.
It's called false pretenses. They can fake, a wolf can disguise itself as a sheep too now. Bad. To be honest. It's just that women are what, like I said, we teach men how to treat us. We teach a woman how to treat us. If you cheat, if you constantly go on the man's phone, all he's gonna do is learn how to cheat even better. Don't look for them. People are, no matter how you look at it, you just got good people who want to give people opportunity, and you got people who misuse that. You got people that take advantage of good people. There's a difference between being a scumbag and a piece of shit. There's a difference. There's a difference. One stink and the other one just the wrong time.
Oh, today's Sunday. I didn't have to bring my food.
Whatever you allow, you deserve. You don't let nobody.
Exactly. Whatever you allow. My point is
whatever
you teach people how to treat you.
But why is that? Why is that a thing though? Why not come? I feel like this. If you don't come ready made, then you shouldn't want to be in a relationship. In other words, if you are not ready for commitment, then leave people the fuck alone.
That's what exactly. Like I said again, up front. You know what, baby? I ain't
about all the other bullshit.
Listen, I ain't shit. It's up to you to decide you want to stay with me.
Like I don't want to do a cat fun. I want to fuck a little bit, or you know what I'm saying? Like those could be.
I want to come over, wear your house shoes to the store a little bit, and that's all. You not my girl. We're gonna fuck from time to time. I might not read all your texts, and I might not return them all, but just be honest with it. So we know what to expect. But this nigga don't come on to Thursday.
Don't sell a dream.
But don't come up here acting like you finna take your Air Max and put them up under the bed. Don't come here acting like you finna help me take little day to school and everything.
I am on time.
And the whole time, you got other things on your agenda. You gonna be a dog? Stop dressing up as a cat or a mouse. Come on out with it. Don't sit up and play. Oh, well, y'all want to be the man, but really you just want to hit it from the bank. That's it. And go about your life. Be honest with it.
Hey, I agree with that. So we're gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna get everybody to say so we can get out. This is my opinion of what I'm saying, and we're gonna wrap. We're gonna come to the conclusion. I hear you what you're saying on what you said about it. Yes, we want to just do something to tell this person that's what you want. What I'm saying is, when you find out that person is bullshit and lying or whatever so forth on that you don't agree with, and you don't cut them off, but you keep complaining about it, and then but you keep going back,
then use the fool after a certain while.
You are definitely the fool because you keep going back. It ain't because you
I
don't go with that. Oh, I lost myself in a relationship. That's why I kept going back, or I was confused and this, and I'm not going for that. If you allowing this person,
nobody asked you to go for it.
If you allow
48 hours, 48 hours.
That's you. So you just told me the women accept the reason they accept men for doing no good because you're saying they are lost. They lost. That's why they can't accept it.
And I have a GPS and find myself real quick.
So That right there is that is unexcusable for just because you get lost in a relationship. Y'all the women accept things and then y'all get
I ain't
mad
got no
about it.
tea. Miss Richard ain't
And
got no
somebody
tea.
don't be there. Somebody be the meat that be good. That 100% just say that. The meat be good. It just, you know, you don't want to go to bed alone. You'll these women will take a dog with extra puppies just so they say, I got a man, my man, my man. So understand me. It goes both ways. You can slice the pie, the big part or the little part is still pie. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like I have a zero tolerance for fuckery. I listen. I am a Dolo type of person. I don't need a clear nothing. The more on my plate, hey. But when it comes down to my happiness, it's gonna always be me first. Even in the alphabet, I come before you, and that's fact.
I
So
love it.
if you keep trying to keep pulling the you, and you get lost or whatever, you need to hurry the hell up and find yourself. Cause baby, please, who, baby, oh Lord, I love me so much. I
I
love me so much that you can't even, my time is very expensive.
I
Something
agree.
like a 1822 Cardinal or some shit. You're not gonna waste my time. You're not gonna play with me, and I'm not gonna play with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be like, hey, if, okay, you gotta understand.
So
Understanding is key to everything.
I love that. So the end. So I guess the question to get a clear answer of the question is, why do you think women keep dating these same bullshitting no
They
good?
have low self esteem.
So
And
low
I
you
really believe low self-esteem
self
because
because
when you got high self-esteem, you maintenance yourself, you carry yourself, and you carry yourself in a certain standard, and you just don't allow there's no room to allow anybody to mistreat you.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen nobody
Mistreat you
just
on
to go for
that
men too. I want my lady, my old lady, she ain't no good, but you been with her 14 years. You been there for 14 years, she ain't been good, but you ain't left out that door. And ain't nobody changed nowhere no more. We know you got the option to go and come. Don't even come back home if you're getting treated that bad. Don't even come back. But when you keep coming back in the house crying, yeah, I get where you come.
it,
What it has to start with your self-esteem. Cause I if I'm the ugliest on the planet, I look good. You ain't gonna make me feel like I gotta stay with you while you mistreat me. No, ma'am, no sir. It's a no sir for me. Because when you love yourself, you will not allow anybody to play with you. Not even for 20 seconds. Cause
and
I'm a camera.
that's
I don't wear a watch because I ain't got time.
that's my whole point of what I do. Just saying, getting the understanding of it's really no reason for a person to stay with somebody that
That
had
mistreats you.
that had if a
It's
person
mental.
if a
It's
person
mental at that point.
if a person cannot be an asset to your life, then don't let them
Then
detract from your life. You
let
know
them be a minus. Do some
that
division in mathematics. Divide, multiply, subtract, put a decimal over here. But whatever you do, encourage yourself to do better and want better.
exact.
Because that's just like falling in love with Stockholm syndrome. You in love with the man that mistreated you. You gotta be out of your mind.
It doesn't
If
make
I'm
sense.
right or wrong, let me know in the comment. But I'm not going for it. I'm sorry.
I
I
agree.
ain't sorry.
I agree because there's no point. Your self worth is not saying that you got to have a be stuck up and snotty nose, but you don't never need to sell yourself at least to belittle yourself just to have somebody. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? You got to be able to know the value of yourself and know that hey, I am worthy of having somebody that understands who I am and what I am, but not only who I am and what I am, somebody that's going to contribute to me. And for me to see that young lady driving in that car with
Yeah.
that baby in her hand driving, and now I can only picture my kids, and then not only that, I can only
So
think of
baby, they don't love her.
my
Or the
grandson.
baby.
That my grandson, if my daughter, if I even seen my daughter ride with my grandson like that, I would have a fucking fit.
Me too. Me
So
too.
you letting this man sitting his lazy ass over in your passenger seat and goddamn see you over here nurturing. I'm gonna assume I can't say it was his child, so I can only assume. I'm gonna assume it was his child. But even that if it wasn't his
But it
child,
wasn't.
a real man, and I got homegirls, I'm a hey, look, you're not finna put that baby in danger.
Oh
Nah,
no, you ain't doing that.
a
Yeah.
man a man ain't finna sit there. It doesn't matter if it's his child or if it's not his child. A man is gonna sit there and say, no, what's gonna be.
I understand, Reg. You know why? Because a lot of things that you speak on when we're on the podcast, it makes sense. It's called common sense, and that's one of the things that I from working with you, talking with you, I know that it's called common sense concept. Common sense will tell you that to go and leave. Common sense will just tell you that man, you to get up and leave that man, and that's how it is. So a lot of people need to understand that about you. It has to make sense. I get it and I understand.
That's all I'm saying. So make it make sense and we good to go. So we about to get ready to wrap this up, man. Hey, I have had
welcome back, baby. Congratulations, time dog, next big writer. Hey, it's up from here, y'all. It's up.
We got a whole bunch more. I'm trying to build these up and get these bigger. So y'all
let's go.
Leave a comment. Hey, thank you. Next big writer, we gotta get you in, man. On the next one. Next time, I'm gonna make sure that I'm on time. It was my fault.
Oh yeah, man. My bad. So, a little late.
That was my fault.
I get it, and I understand, and I love y'all so much. I wish nothing but happiness and all the money in the world that you need. May y'all be blessed with it.
We definitely gonna get it. And hey, writer, we gonna have let's shoot for tomorrow. We're gonna do our one-on-one, and we're gonna make it happen tomorrow.
All right, copy that.
Okay, let's go.
All right,
I'll be tuning in watching, guys.
Hey, that sounds like a plan. We out of here, y'all.
All right.
Y'all enjoy y'all. Enjoy mine.
You too, Chris.